Just a couple of minutes away from kickoff right here on a Super Talk 800 KREI. Farmington, Park Hills, Deloche. And for the Farmington Knights, they'll be in their road white uniforms. And Luke, last year, that was tough on us when they were in their road whites because they had the gold lettering, but their outline didn't have much to it. This year, they've got a black outline to the letters. We thank them.
Yeah, you know, it's a lot easier on us, but I don't know about you, Chad, but I don't know what kind of off-season training program you have for this radio gig. But me, myself, I kind of kept up on my game over the summer, did a few calls at the county fair, maybe down at an evening place or two, but yeah, I can see those numbers a lot better now.
I gargled with razor blades to keep my voice sharp, and hey, you've been CrossFitting. You between us, we've lost 30 pounds in the booth. I gained 5.
Yeah, well,
so that'll tell folks what your off-season work was like. Right? Oh, gosh. On the road again, huh? Farmington here at Festus. A little deja vu from last year when Farmington won it 34-9 was the final score. It was a 7-3 lead for Farmington at the half, and they turned it on in the second half of play. And we'll introduce our starting lineups as we move along, but when you looked at last year's game, they had a sophomore quarterback. Festus did name Blake Goddard, tough kid, hard-nosed, really ran the club well, and ended up with over 1,300 yards rushing before it was all said and done. Well, he transferred away during the off season, and you know, folks get a job, and you gotta do what's right for the family. And so instead of having an experienced junior quarterback, you've got a sophomore in Jordan Wilkes. Maybe we'll see Andrew Hayden tonight as well, and perhaps you protect him a little bit when you try to pound the ball. Festus going to receive this kickoff. We told you about the Farmington unis. If you think about the Pittsburgh Steelers, well, that's what Festus looks like. Yellow pants, black shirts, and look a little bit like the Pittsburgh Steelers, like the Iowa Hawkeyes, and they'll return it right to left as Luke and I look at and describe the action to you. Our kickoff brought to you by Bill Bess Insurance, your American family insurance agent in Park Hills, committed to making the big play for their customers. Oh, we saw Logan Bradley kick so many into the end zone last year. The job this year goes to Austin Dussault, and Austin was a backup guy last year punting and got a few kicks in as well, and has a nice strong leg. So we'll see how this initial kickoff goes for Farmington.
Yeah, we got a great night for football here. Kicking off the season. This Festus Field, I'll tell you what, this is a great looking facility right now. They've really done some nice upgrades to it.
It is. It's tremendous. They've got some nice stone down here. The bleachers are dug right into a hill, and they've got a turf surface. Travis Sproul going to be the deep man for Festus. Farmington going to boot it off left to right as Luke and I look at the action, and that means Festus will return it right to left. Here we go for the 2012 season. Dussault swings the right leg, knocks this one deep. Sproul grabs it at his own 8-yard line, heads up the left side of the 20. Now to the 25, gets a block. He's at the 30, cuts back to the 35, got another block to the 40, and forced out of bounds at the 43-yard line. Read those blocks perfectly, and great field position to start this game for the Festus Tigers. Starting lineups brought to you by Midwest Convenient Care. Jordan Wilkes scheduled to be the starting quarterback. We'll see if he indeed does come on the field. The centers, Zach Welsh. The guards are Luke Hampton and Brandon Barton. Ryan Burgess and Logan Jaskowitz are the tackles. They average 250 up front. The fullback, Corey Uding, a 6'1", 220-pound senior head knocker. And the slotbacks are Corey Carr and Tyler Barlow. Wide receiver to the right side is Travis Sproul. And let's see, indeed, if the quarterback is Jordan Wilkes. And, indeed, it is. So Wilkes comes down under center, has one man in motion, gives to Uding, and Uding is met in the hole and driven right backwards. Terrific play by the Farmington defense to meet the man in the hole right there, and that was Zach Grief. Grief we saw as a backup linebacker last year. He's a backup linebacker and defensive lineman this year, and we know he can bring the wood. A 2-yard gain for Uding right there as we meet the starting lineups for the Farmington defense. Brought to us by Midwest Convenient Care. Johnny Barton, Austin Herbst with the tackles. Austin Dussault, Garrett Duncan the ends. Ethan Hughes and Ryder Garrett the scheduled starting linebackers, but Zach Grief in there, as we mentioned as well. We'll meet the secondary coming up on a 2nd and 8 here. Jordan Wilkes comes down in our center, sends a man in motion. Option play right side. There's the pitch to Corey Carr. Corey Carr cuts back, gets to midfield. He's down to the 48 on a gain of 6 yards. Nifty option play. And the outside of the linebackers / secondary guys, Elijah McBride plays the stud position for Farmington. Grant Hopkins will play the night position. And then the cornerbacks are Jared Dunlap, Trey Amsden, Anthony Greco is the starting free safety. So those are our starters. And Festus now moves past midfield and into Farmington territory to start this game after a good kickoff return. And it brings up now a 3rd and 3.
Yeah, great special teams play to start off the game for Festus here. And we've seen a lot of teams try to do this to Farmington last year. They're going to try and control the clock, and the momentum of this game.
Russ Schmidt talked about it with us in the pregame show. Indeed, that's what they will try to do. Wide to the left side, that's Mitch Neal, and they split one to the right, one to the left side. 2 men in motion right here, so they do have to pause before starting the snap. You've got to have at least 1 second elapsed with only 1 man in motion, and the miscommunication and the error there will cause a delay of game against the Festus Tigers.
I'll tell you what, Chad, you guys, you can go into practice, you can practice, have those 2 days all summer long, but until you get in that game situation, you just really don't know how things are going to turn out. And I thought we might see a little pregame jitters here.
The Farmington defensive front 4 averaged 200 pounds even. The Festus front 5 averages 250. So this is a battle and really kind of a recurring theme last year as we covered Farmington all year long. Well, they were undersized, but more often than not, Luke, we saw that Farmington had superior overall team speed, and that seemed to help them during their games.
Yeah, guys like Ethan Hennis, they had a lot of speed up there up front. That really helped them last year.
Hey, we want to thank the great hospitality here at Festus, really taking care of us, and we appreciate that. There's a missed exchange on the snap. The Farmington coaches are pointing their way as if they've recovered it. And as the officials come into the middle of the pile, they indeed indicate that it's Farmington football. So on a 3rd and 7, a turnover on a missed exchange on the snap, and the Farmington Knights will take over the football in Festus territory. So, Luke, a good special teams play, as you said, to give Festus good field position, but they can't capitalize.
They sure did. You know, ran those first 3 plays, had some good things going, and it's all started off with that penalty, that illegal motion there, and then fumbling the ball in the very next play.
All right, so Justin Bame with his first game as the starter. He'll work from the gun. Beside him, Anthony Greco, the starting running back. We'll meet the line of wide receivers as we move along. 1st and 10 for Farmington. They've got at the Festus 45-yard line. Bame gets the snap, hands it off to Greco. Greco stumbles into the hole. Little second effort, though, as he shoves it forward for a 4-yard gain. Greco played the understudy last year to Connor Duvall. All Connor did last year was rush for over 1,500 yards. Caught the ball for 231 yards. He had touchdowns on defense. He had touchdowns on special teams. He was the Swiss Army knife, and Greco perhaps filling a little bit of the same role this year. 2nd and 6 coming up. Bame looks over to the sideline, deploys 2 to each side. Bame looks up top, nobody there. Now breaks the pocket, scrambling to his right side, keeps the feet alive, scrambling back to his left. Back up the middle goes Bame. Bame to the 40, looking for the 35, can't get there, and the ball now on the surface. The Farmington folks thought maybe he was down before he fumbled. There was no indication. And as the officials come together, they do not signal that it's Festus ball yet. The officials still looking it over. And now Todd Vaughn goes out to ask the question, was he down or was he not? As they sort it out, Luke, whether it's a fumble or not and a change of possession, what's very evident and something that we really suspected coming in, Bame has some great feet.
Great athletic ability. I tell you, that kid can move right out there. Got himself out of trouble a couple different times, and it looked like he was still, they're going to say he fumbled that ball. It's going to be Festus ball right now.
Yep, indeed he did. It's a fumble on Justin Bame as he got hit at the 40-yard line. And the ball rolls back to the 42. I never saw the officials indicate either way. The coaches didn't either. They were wondering.
Here's what I think happened there, Chad. I think the defensive player pulled Bame down, and Bame was actually never down when the ball came loose. He was actually sitting on top of the defensive player.
Mm-hmm. And so a timeout. They go through a timeout right here to give the players a drink. And so no score here in Festus. 8:58 remaining in this first quarter of play. And Festus will have the football 1st and 10 at their own 42-yard line when we come back after this 30-second pause right here on KREI.
Are you ready for some football?
ProCare Automotive Repair in Bonne Terre is family-owned and ASC and AAA approved. ProCare repairs are backed by a 12-month, 12,000-mile nationwide warranty, allowing you to drive away with confidence, not questions. Need repairs today, but more time to pay? Ask about their 6- and 12-month payment options. Find them online at ProCareForYourCar.com or call 358-1112. ProCare Automotive Repair. When it's repaired once, it's repaired right.
So ProCare Automotive in Bonne Terre are part of our great list of sponsors for this Farmington Festus game. Benning Ford in Fredericktown, Earth Mother Health Foods, Braden May Concrete in Farmington, and Gifford Lumber Company in Farmington as well. Festus has its second possession. They'll start it at their own 42-yard line. And Jordan Wilkes bringing the troops out. Corey Uding, a 220-pound hammer right behind him. They'll fake it to Uding this time. Wilkes keeps it. Wilkes is stuffed at the line of scrimmage, and that Farmington defensive front does a fine job of warding off those would-be blockers and stuffing it right at the line of scrimmage. That was middle linebacker Ryder Garrett filling the hole, Luke.
Ryder Garrett, we all remember his older brother Roper. Ryder, he played a heck of a season last year too. and now he's got to step up and be the man this year as a senior, and way to start it off.
Yeah, sure was. So Ryder and Ethan Hughes, linebackers, and we'll see Zach Grief is kind of a hybrid guy. He'll vacillate between that line and the linebacking core a little bit like we saw last year with several multi-skilled athletes. 2nd and 10, another missed exchange on the snap, and driven down deep in the backfield is Jordan Wilkes. And he just fumbled it that time, got it from the center and just flat fumbled it, and he loses 4 yards as 4 Farmington defenders hop on top of him in the backfield. And there was Ryder Garrett, one of those guys right there in the backfield, sniffing out that play.
What I like to see there from the Farmington defense, swarming the ball. They saw the miscue there by Wilkes, and they just capitalized on it. A couple of guys got on him, didn't let him recover. What a great play by the Farmington defense.
Brings up a 3rd and 15, 7:50 and counting down in this first quarter. No score as of yet. Festus and Farmington. Wide to the right side, Travis Sproul. And the wide receiver off to the left side is Mitch Neal. They go with one slot to the right, and Uding has the fullback right there. Rolling to the right side is Wilkes. Looks down the field, fires. Sproul dives for it and grabs it. Great catch by Sproul. And on a 3rd and 15, he gains 16 yards.
A nice play there by the wide receiver. Sproul just ran a little deep out, got far enough past those chains, and that's one thing you just can't coach enough. Get past those chains on the 3rd down, and what a heck of a catch.
Sproul with one catch last year for 14 yards. So he had 1 for 16 right there. Just improved.
Probably won't be his last this season.
I think that you are correct. So 1 wide to the left side and 1 to the right side. Carr, Barlow are the wing backs, or slot backs if you prefer. Uding, though, is going to take it straight up the middle this time. Uding wrapped up by Ethan Hughes there on a gain of 5 yards for Uding. Uding has a packed tight man, 6'1", 220. This guy brings it.
Yeah, that's anytime you meet up with somebody like that on the high school football field, you're going up against a lot.
7 minutes and counting down in this first quarter for the second possession in a row. Festus has made it into Farmington territory. First possession for them resulted in a turnover on a fumble, and then Farmington returned the favor. Uding taking it straight up the middle once again, and he's hit at the line. Austin Herbst hit him first, Ryder Garrett after that. But Uding strong enough to surge that line forward a little bit, and a gain of 3 yards, bringing up a 3rd and less than 2.
I'll tell you what, this big number 4-2 Uding out there, he's giving Farmington all they want right now.
Well, and if you're this ball control type team running this flex bone, this is exactly what you want. 3rd and short. You want us to kind of stay ahead of the sticks if you're Festus.
Yeah, I like their game plan right now, managing that clock.
So twins to the left side, 2 wides over there, and a couple of slot backs. One man goes in motion, option play left side. Pitch man is Barlow, and Barlow does get the pitch, then cuts it back. He's down to the 30-yard line as he winds and weaves his way forward for an 8-yard gain and a 1st down as Ryder Garrett, the man making the play, and Austin Herbst deep in the backfield from his tackle position. Barlow's first carry of the game, he's got 8 yards, and Festus not quite to red zone territory, but knocking close on the door. 6 minutes left in the first quarter, and the Tigers at the Farmington 31-yard line. Here's Travis Sproul, split wide to the right, off to the left. That's Mitch Neal, and Uding the fullback there. They're going to go to the wingback, Corey Carr, this time. Carr trying to get some blockers as he gets to the line of scrimmage, but that thing is shut down at the line that time as Farmington got tough on the defensive side of the ball. And a good play there by Ethan Hughes, the other linebacker.
I like what Festus is doing right now. They're mixing it up, getting a lot of guys in on the action right now. Already the 4th guy to get the ball on this drive.
So a timeout for a drink for each team. They get a couple of those a quarter. 5:42 remaining in the first frame. No score as of yet, and we're back in a minute right here on Super Talk 800 KREI.
Looking for a fun and affordable way to enjoy life on 2 wheels? Then look no further than the 2012 Honda CBR 250R. The fuel-injected bike is lightweight with a user-friendly power band and excellent fuel economy. Modern sport bike styling, unmatched reliability, and a fun factor that is off the charts. And it's available in 2 versions, the CBR 250R and the CABS, with their combined anti-lock brake system, an option that first-time buyers and experienced bike riders can appreciate. They're at Donaldson Cycles, 4 Municipal Drive in Park Hills.
Need it, want it, rent it, own it. Come to Show Me Rent to Own.
Hi, I'm Gary Romine, owner of Show Me Rent to Own. If you can hear this ad, then there's a Show Me Rent to Own location near you. Want a new laptop or big screen TV? Shop Show Me Rent to Own. Need a new washer and dryer? Shop Show Me Rent to Own. We have what you want and need. Want it, need it, rent it, own it. Show Me Rent to Own.
The Show You Rental Company of the Show Me State.
Festus takes it straight up the middle this time as there's a new running back in there replacing Uding, and that was Nathan Cummings playing the fullback position right there. Nathan Cummings just needed a few. He gets down to the 22-yard line, bringing up a 3rd and 2. Give the big man a little rest. Cummings comes in, packs the mail a little bit, 5'10", 190 pounds. So this guy is a solid dude as well.
Yeah, and like you said, you want to keep these guys fresh, even though it's a kind of a cool night for an August game. Still, first game of the year, you want to make sure these kids have got plenty of water.
So a 3rd and 2, and this time they'll take it to the outside, and there is nowhere to go right there. As Ryder Garrett got into the backfield that time, and he drops the quarterback for a 2-yard loss. And Wilkes now puts his team in a 4th and 4. And I think that's something that Ryder really excels at. He can get to sideline and sideline really well as a backer.
Yeah, and that's what you want out of it, senior leadership out of a linebacker like that. And that's something his brother did so well, is he read that line of scrimmage and can go side to side just as well as up and down the field.
Well, the kicker is Sproul. And for Festus last year, when they had a field goal in the first half, this would be a pretty good shot, a 40-yarder. And they don't appear like they – well, they're going to bring out Hayden with a D here. And in talking with Coach Schmidt, he said, well, we were not quite sure who our kicker is. Sproul and Hayden are both of our guys, and it's kind of a game time or maybe even a situational type decision. And they have brought out a tee and put it at the 30-yard line, so this would be a 40-yard attempt by Hayden, be a pretty good shot.
Yeah, that's Logan Bradley territory right there.
It is. There is a timeout on the field. We keep it right here as we thank a few sponsors like Midwest Convenient Care in Farmington and Bonne Terre, Hood's Discount Home Center in Farmington, Show Me Rent to Own, Buckley Towing in Park Hills, Midwest Orthopedic Group in Farmington, and American Family Insurance, Bill Bess in Park Hills. The line of scrimmage, the 24-yard line of Farmington. And Hayden is out there to try to kick a 40-yarder. Andrew Hayden, also the backup quarterback. Well, no, Hayden's going to be the holder, so he's one of the kickers. The other kicker is Sproul, so Hayden going to be the holder, and Sproul, Luke, just moved it back to the 31, so this will be a 41-yard attempt. This would be a heck of a shot if Sproul can hit it. All right, 4:32 remaining in this first quarter, and a 41-yard attempt by Sproul. The snap is good. The hold is down. Sproul sends it up, deep, and through. He's got it. A 41-yard field goal by Sproul, and we've got our first score of the game. Festus leads 3-0.
Yeah, that was a heck of a kick by that kid. It was right down the middle, and it would have been good from 50 almost.
Tremendous shot by Sproul. And Festus leads it 3-0. So 3-0 Tigers over the Knights. And we're back with your kickoff on the other side of this 1-minute pause on KREI.
Let Emo's Pizza of Farmington help you figure out what's for lunch or dinner. They have all the great pizza items and sandwiches your family loves at prices you can afford. You're sure to please the entire gang. Right now, buy an extra large pizza at menu price and get a free pasta sandwich or appetizer of your choice. Or get a large 3-topping pizza for $12.95. That's Emo's Pizza at 756-9100. Next to Family Video in Farmington, the original St. Louis-style pizza.
When it comes to collision repair on your vehicle, call Brad Wooten and the team at Crown Collision Center. For 9 straight years, Crown Collision Center has been ranked 3rd in the nation in customer satisfaction at 98%. Recognized by Motor Trend magazine, they perform all collision repairs on any make and model, foreign or domestic. All done by factory-trained certified technicians and they're 5-star rated. State-of-the-art facility, and all work carries a written lifetime warranty. Call Brad Wooten for your collision repair at Crown Collision Center, 800-996-2566.
Travis Ball boots it away. This thing is high and deep, and Greco grabs it right at the goal line. Greco taking it out to the 10, cuts back. He's to the 20 and tackled at the 22-yard line. So good coverage by Festus. Good deep kick, and nice job by the special teams covering it as well. Farmington football, 1st and 10 at their own 22. And here's our scoring drive, courtesy of ProCare Automotive in Bonne Terre. Festus moved the ball a little bit and capitalized, Luke.
I tell you what, and they did exactly what their coach wanted to do, and that was take a lot of time off the clock. You know, started over, got that fumble, Justin Boehm there, and capitalized on that. Got to their own 43 and took it all the way down to the Farmington territory on 4th down. Huge kick from Sproul.
Soaked up the clock, 4:20 remaining in the first quarter. Here's a Farmington team that averaged over 43 points a game last year, looking for its first score so far in this one. Boehm's got it in the gun, and he hands it off to Greco. Greco looking for the outside. He's wrapped up in the backfield. I mean, he is taken down fast. that time. Tremendous play by Carter Probst. He plays that hybrid position. They have those outside backers / D-backs, Carter Probst, Tyler Barrow, playing those positions. The corners are Travis Sproul and Mitch Neal, and then the free safety is Corey Carr. So it's a loss of a pair that time for the Farmington running back, Anthony Greco. Back in the gun, Dane passes it out on a hook route. That's to the 30-yard line. And settling in to grab it is Calvin Lynch. We saw Calvin last year, Luke, as a third-string quarterback. They've transitioned him to wide receiver, and his first chance is good for a 9-yard gain.
Yeah. And, you know, the thing is, Justin Bame, he's a junior. He's got to play with a lot of these receivers on the junior varsity level, so they should be pretty familiar with each other.
Bame rolls to his left side this time and throws another dart across the 40-yard line. And that was a nice-looking catch as Bane, his man in stride. Cameron Corder making the catch right there. And another 10-yard game with the Farmington offense. And now they move the sticks for the first time. First possession for Farmington resulted in a turnover, and it was a scrambling play by Bame. And he ended up fumbling it on a hit in Festus territory. But first 2 times he's passed, he's looked sharp. So Bame back in the gun. He's got Greco to his right, 2 wide receivers to each side, and hands it off to Greco this time. Greco is driven down in the backfield. I mean, he is taken back there and thumped. Tremendous play. Corey Uding, we've seen him as that fullback, Luke, and he's the head-knocking middle linebacker over there for Festus.
I tell you what, this middle defense for this Festus team, I tell you what, they are big and they are strong. That nose tackle they got in there, man, I'll tell you what.
Brandon Barton, 260. His backup, Luke Hampton's 290. Looked like a little motion on that offensive front for Farmington. No call. Bame breaks the pocket and rushes it up ahead for 5 yards. Pretty good quick decision-making. Nothing there. Boom, hit the seam and got a 5-yard pickup.
Yeah, the kid's got to know his strengths. You know, if it's not, the read's not there, he's got the athletic ability to take off and pick up some yards.
Farmington's got a 3rd and 5. No gain on the rush by Greco on first down. A 5-yard scramble by Bame and brings up a 3rd and 5 right here. Bame going to run on the straight quarterback keeper this time, and there's nowhere for him to go. Gained just a yard, and that Festus defense stiffened. As Luke told us, Brandon Barton, the nose guard, is the man that made the play right there.
Yeah, and what a victory here for the Festus defense right now. You know, Farmington came out, looked like they were going to get some momentum with that passing game going, and Festus defense stepped up in midfield and 4th down here.
Quick moving game. We're at 2 minutes remaining in this first quarter and a 3-0 lead for Festus. Sproul is back to receive this punt along with Corey Carr. Dussault grabs this one off the turf, puts his right foot into it, and drives it down to Carr, grabs it at the 18-yard line. Carr hits one defender, spins off of him, hits 2, spins off of him, and as he dodges over to the right side, he's finally thrown down at the 15-yard line. Actually lost 3 yards on the return. Tried to get lateral, and by that time, the Farmington return team was down there in full force to bring him down. So a 3-point lead, a 3-0 score for Festus. And the difference, the foot of Travis Sproul, he had a 41-yard field goal on the last possession for Festus.
Well, and what I really liked about Festus' offense last series is they really mixed it up. Got a lot of different guys involved in that offense and, you know, just slowly but surely marched down there and got in scoring position.
Tom will have your halftime show. We'll have the scoring highlights from all of our games and the scores from all around the area. And we've got an updated scoreboard online as well. Just go to mymoinfo.com and you can check out the updated scores from all the area throughout the night. Jordan Wilkes comes down under center. He's going to roll to his left side and run the straight quarterback keeper. And he is spun down at the 16-yard line. A terrific defensive effort that time by Farmington's Elijah McBride. And Luke, they teach it if you have a blocker coming at you, you stand him up. You can move either left or right, and I thought Elijah did a great job just eliminating the blocker, and then he was able to take on the quarterback Wilkes as he came down and threw.
Yeah, one thing we've seen tonight already is Jordan Wilkes. That kid's got some speed there in the backfield, and, you know, I wouldn't be surprised. Farmington's going to really have to contain him tonight because he could bust a long one.
Well, Wilkes and Bame look kind of similar, you know, the quarterbacks for each side, I think. So a 2nd and 8. Sproul going to be the wide outs to the right side. And it's Nathan Cummings in that fullback position. We saw him give Uding a little break in the last possession. He's back out there again. He tries to get lateral this time, and Greco sends him down to the floor. A gain of 2 yards. Greco out there, a little help from Garrett as well. Cummings' second carry. He's got a couple of tries for 5 yards. 36 seconds remaining in this first quarter, and this is really going according to script for Festus so far.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, if I'm Coach Rush Schmidt on that other sideline over there, I can't be more pleased with how my team has performed so far. With that one miscue there in the first series of the game.
Eel and Sproul, the wideouts to the left side, quarterback keeper as Wilkes just curls around the left side of that line, needed 5 and picks up 6 on the final play of this first quarter. So Wilkes knew he just had that straight keeper that time, just used his speed to get to the corner, turned it around there and stuck the nose of the football across the 25-yard line near the 26, and a first down for his team. So 3-0, Festus leads Farmington, and we're back with your second quarter of play. The first night of high school football right here on Regional Radio, and thanks so much for joining us on Super Talk 800 KREI.
Don't waste away the last days of summer in a car you hate. Join my flip-flop revolution today. Hey, it's David Sissom from Sam Sissom Ford Lincoln, and I'm on a mission to help everyone kick back in the car they love. I'll help you flip out of your current car and flop into a nicer, newer car today by paying up to $4,575 more for your old car than it's actually worth. Relax on a ride you'll love. Flip out of your old car and flop into a nicer, newer one today. I'll pay up to $4,575 more for your old car than it's actually worth. My For the People credit approval processes. Easy breezy. We match you with the lender most likely to approve you. Our goal this month, 100% approval. Be a part of the flip-flop revolution. I'll pay up to $4,575 more for your old car than it's worth. Hurry, the revolution ends August 31st or after we've flip-flopped 75 cars. I'm David Sissom, and I'm a dealer for the people. Visit me at Sam Sissom Ford Lincoln, on the web at SissomForThePeople.com or 573-431-3177.
Requires bank approval. Offers may not combine. Vehicle purchase price affects trade allowance. Net of all factory rebates.
3-0, Festus leads Farmington in our opening game right here on KREI. Luke, I think a close game certainly, but I think a slight edge right now to Festus in terms of line play.
Yeah, and we kind of talked about it a little bit earlier. You know, you don't know how the kids will come out and respond right now. You know, it's the first game of the year. First time you get out there, yeah, you've been scrimmaging against each other, your own team all summer long. So you get out here and, you know, maybe things aren't going to click right as you wanted them to. And we've seen a few miscues by Farmington so far, but still a lot of ball game left. But Festus looking pretty sharp out there, really, and their offense seems to be working for them.
Farmington took a little bit to get really rolling last year in this matchup. They led 7-3 at the half. And so Festus with that first half field goal last year as well. Festus has a 1st and 10. At their own 26-yard line, and a roll to the right side on a true option play, and that one's strung out, and there's Elijah McBride again. McBride's playing that corner really well, and he strung that play out and brought Carter Probst down to the backfield.
Yeah, like what we're seeing from this kid, Elijah. So far in this game, he's been running that line of scrimmage and really playing that option pretty well.
5'11", 195-pound senior, so he can hit you, but he's also shown pretty good feet as he dropped the man Probst right there for a 5-yard loss. Probst is no wilting flower either, 5'11", 225 pounds. So that was a big collision over there on the left side of that Farmington defense. 2nd and 15 coming up. 11:23 counting down in the second quarter. 3-0 Festus on top. Motion man is Barlow. Instead, they'll test the middle of that Farmington line. I think that was Carter Probst probing the middle of the line. And indeed it was. Checked the middle of that line and gained 4 of it back, bringing up a 3rd and long, a 3rd of 11.
Yeah, not an ideal situation here for Festus right now. It did show on that one play that they can pass it a little bit. Haven't really had to go to it right now. Not really the situation they want to be in 3rd and long.
Well, Wilkes had that one completion out there to Sproul, a really nice play. They needed 15 yards on that one, and they gained to 16, so we'll see.
The only other time we've seen them really pass it, though, tonight.
You're right. They bring with the double tight formation, everything tights. One motion man, they're going to run the pitch to Barlow, but the play is blown dead and flags before it all started. 10:39 remaining in the first quarter. Festus leads it 3-0. And as the officials look over to the home side of the field, but really the Festus team is on the other side, but there are only stands on one side. So I guess this would be the official side of the field, a 5-yard penalty on illegal procedure.
I tell you what, just looking at this depth chart right here, Carter Probst and Corey Uding, tell me about these guys. 225 and 220. I mean, that's a heck of a backfield right there.
Well, the Farmington defensive line, Luke, averages 200 pounds. Both of those running backs are 225.
Yeah, outweigh him. Wow. I'll tell you what.
One wide to the right side for Festus. They're moving left to right as Luke and I look at and describe the action to you. And they go straight up the middle this time and rip off 10 yards, but it won't be enough for a first down, and that was Corey Uding right there, just pounding his way ahead, and the spot a little bit short of where I thought that they might mark him, so say a gain of 8 on the play. And Uding has 4 carries for 18 yards, but the Farmington defense apparently has held.
Well, and what we're seeing here, Festus' game plan is you got to get positive yards on first down, and they just weren't able to do it on this drive, and it really set them back for the whole series.
Right, and we talked about how they want to kind of stay ahead of the sticks that time. They fell behind the sticks that time, and it's one of those Australian rules type kicks, rolling to his right side. Greco feels it at the 35, breaks the tackle to the 40, the 45, and driven out near midfield. Luke, so often, and I don't care what level of football it is, high school, college, or pro, you will see a punt returner back up on a punt like that that's in between instead of hustle and go get it on the run. Greco got to it on the run, forward momentum, and his return was 20 yards. But if you figure out that thing has a chance to hop down the field, that could have been like a 30, 35-yard difference right there.
Yeah, it sure could. And he really read the ball really great there and made one defender miss and made the most of it.
Good work by Greco. Strength that we saw of Farmington last year, certainly special teams, and a nice special teams play right there. Bame flips it out to the right side, and one of those just quick hitters over to the right side, but it's played very well by the defense for Festus. Keanu Keaton-Boyce wrapped up his man right there on the quick hitter over to the right side by Farmington. What great play, and I think that completion to Devin Nagel right there.
Devin Nagel, the junior, 6'5", 195. He's wearing the number 88, a guy last year named Doug Warren. He looks just about like Doug Warren out there.
Yeah, Doug Warren could do some things. And now they're going to go with that delayed handoff right there. So they read it and go with the draw. And a little bit of room to run right there as a backup running back. Colton Coulter gets in the game that time, and he gains 8 yards. Coulter showing some jitterbug moves right there. Little shiftiness by Coulter. Bame deploys 2 wides to each side, a 3rd and 3 coming up, and really not a bad stop for a quarterback keeper, but Festus won't force him into it as they jumped early. The 3rd 5-yard penalty whistled on Festus tonight. Farmington has not been penalized yet. 8:37 remaining in the second quarter. And Festus leads it 3-0. They scored going this way as Luke and I look at it right to left. A 41-yard field goal by Travis Sproul. It wasn't an impressive shot. 2 wides to the east side, 1st and 10 for Farmington. The Festus 38-yard line, the line of scrimmage, is Bame goes through the middle of the line and gains 3 yards. Faked the draw and just followed his man through the hole.
Tell you what, Jaden Reddick, the linebacker for Festus, came in and gave Bame a shot. Only gained about 4 yards there. And tell you what, Bame, he's not afraid to take off after it, but Festus is giving him some looks too.
Yeah, physical ball club, Festus. Bame rolls to his right side, curl route, and a terrific defensive play that time. Great work to break that thing up by Mitch Neal. Mitch Neal just right in the hip pocket of the Farmington wide receiver the whole time, and then reached out at the last moment and flipped it away from Nagel.
As Bame was going out there for this big man again, Nagel, and tell you what, coaches probably like to see it. A little bit of inexperience on the varsity level. This kid's going to learn, but you might want to come back to that ball a little bit, help you out your quarterback, and not shield off that D-back.
That's a great point, Luke. He waited for the ball instead of coming to a terrific point. A 3rd and 7 for Farmington, and Bame puts 2 wides to each side. One of those wide receivers, Ryder Garrett. Bame going to keep it, though, this time. Looks off tackle right side, and Bame nearly had the corner. Nearly had it. A gain of 4 yards. And just tracked down. He can get out of that grasp of that one. He is off to a long, long carry. But what it does is it sets Farmington up for a 4th down chance here on a 4th and 3. And they quickly get to the line and run some fastball offense. Bame in the shotgun, but now looks over to his coaches, over to his left side. And the running back that he's got in there beside him is Colton Coulter. So a couple of running backs, if you count Bame out there in the gun. 4th and 3. Bame looks like he wants to pass. Flips over on a curl route. This is to Garrett. And Ryder Garrett down to the 20-yard line. Caught it, put his nose down, trucked over the top of one man and gained 11 yards. Great strike by Bame.
Ryder Garrett out there, number 44, playing the left wide receiver, split it out wide. That kid played tackle on the offensive line last year and just made a huge 4th down catch.
You like seeing him out there, don't you?
I do. I love it.
He likes being out there, too. He told me. He grinned when I asked him if he liked the change. Said I'm having fun. So 1st and 10 for Farmington. They've got it at the 20-yard line of Festus, trying to take the lead as the Festus Tigers lead it 3-0 on the strength of a Travis Sproul 41-yard field goal. And here's the first penalty against the Knights as they moved early. The positive for Farmington, though, that was a nice shot by Bame on that hook route. For Festus, they gave him quite a bit of cushion on that.
Yeah, I don't really like what I'm seeing out of the Farmington offense right now. Spreading the ball around. Bames looked pretty comfortable back there throwing it around. Had the one batted ball, but other than that, looked pretty smooth.
2 wides to each side. And the running back is Coulter once again. Bame back in the gun. Gets it, drops back, looks over the middle, checks down, wants to break the pocket and run. Now bluffs a pass. He gets to the 20-yard line, puts his nose down, and Bame did a nice job taking on the physical play that time and gained a few more yards afterward as well. So for Bame, he gained 7 yards right there.
Yeah, nice little play there for Bame. But really, his receiver, Calvin Lynch, playing the slot, slipped out there. He was wide open, and that's where Bame wanted to go, but he had to take off instead. 2
wide receivers to each side once again. Hopkins and Garrett off to the right side. Bame follows a couple of blockers that time and just pushes his way to the 15-yard line. A gain of 3, and it brings up a 3rd and 5 for Farmington. Already 7 carries for Justin Bame for 28 yards. Last year, you heard us talking about the quarterback last year for Festus, Blake Goddard. He ran 26 times last year for 35 yards. So he got banged around, but he was a hard-nosed kid. Call it a 3rd and 4 right here. Bame's back in the gun, and he rolls to his right side. Looks down toward the end zone, and the pass is just out of the outstretched hands of Devin Nagel. He talked about Nagel's size. I guess they give that number 88 pretty big guys because he is at 6'5", 195 pounds.
That jersey's reserved for the tallest cat out on the field right now. And Bame just a little bit early on his throw there didn't really give Devin there a chance to break out of his route.
Farmington could kick a 31-yard field goal to try to tie. Instead, they look for the lead on a 4th and 4. They're going to go for it. Bame gets the snap, looks to the end zone, rolls to his left side, has a little bit of room to run, tucks it to the 10, steps out at the, it looks like just inside of the 10. It's going to all be on the spot. The stick is right at the 10. It looks like the nose of the football is just across the 10. And, Luke, as we eyeball it over there, it seems like he's going to have the first down, but it's going to be really, really close.
They're going to bring the chains across. They're going to measure this, and, boy, this could be huge, either for both teams. Whatever the outcome of this is, it's going to be huge for that Farmington offense. Already 10 plays on this drive. You know, and we talked about that fast momentum, that Farmington offense, and they've really just marched on down the field here.
For Farmington, they're looking for their second first down conversion on a 4th down on this drive if they can do it, and they cannot.
Wow.
He is inches shy.
Boy, they better make sure that's a regulation-sized football, man. They just missed it by an inch.
They sure did, and you got to give credit to that Festus defense. Hung in there and made a play on the corner.
A great job by the Festus defense there, you know, and not to be intimidated by Farmington lining up to go for it on 4th down, you know, how quick they were. And Farmington, you know, Festus stuck in there, and unfortunate for Farmington, they had a good offensive drive going. Those boys are going to have to recoup. They're in a nail-biter right now, 3-0.
How many yards did they go that time, Luke? All the way down to the 10-yard line?
Yeah, well, you remember there, Greco, he returned the ball to the 50-yard line there.
Right.
Picked up a lot of yards on a lot of plays there, spread it around. Bame making a lot of plays with his feet.
We talked about, and Coach Schmidt talked about, the plan to run some clock on offense. Well, for Festus, they did it on defense, too. They forced Farmington to use time. They bent, but they never broke. They did not give up the big play, and they forced Farmington to drive, use some clock, and then stopped them. So game plan execution still right now in Festus's favor.
Yeah, Justin Bame, we've seen him make a couple of nice throws there. The short variety, little 15-yard out, maybe a couple of slants there. We haven't seen him go downfield yet like we were used to seeing Chase Busenbarg do so often last year, though.
So a 90-yard field in front of the Festus Tigers, and let's see how they navigate this thing. Festus plays that flex bone offense. They've got a Hammer as a fullback out there, a couple of slot backs as well. They'll split a guy out every now and again. Zach Welsh comes up as the center and sets the line here. And they've gone the distance so far with Jordan Wilkes with 6:17 remaining in the first quarter. And Festus leading at 3-0. So Wilkes, the quarterback, he puts Nathan Cummings right behind him this time. Cummings gets it off tackle and spins in the hole and works it out to the 15-yard line. So a gain of 5 on first down. When you're running that flex bone, that's a pretty good first play.
That's absolutely once you want their 5-yard gain on first down. You know, and Festus, ideally for them, they'd like to take this whole 6 minutes, march the length of the field, and not give Farmington any time back going into halftime.
Yep. We'd like to thank a few sponsors along the way. Mineral Area College, Jim Ropke Shelter Insurance in St. Genevieve, and County Do-It Center in St. Genevieve as well. So a good drive by Farmington, but turned away at the 10, and then a 5-yard gain on first down for Festus. Nathan Cummings, the fullback. And Cummings does not get it this time. It's a quarterback keeper. Wilkes bluffed the handoff, came in right behind him, and then he's thrown backwards after that. And a little bit of late action by the Farmington defender Greco as well. And they didn't flag him that time, but they see that many more times. You're going to get a late hit on that. He got up off of his man and then shoved him.
Yeah, when you got a great defensive play, don't kill the momentum by doing something stupid like that. You just got to play smart. That's something those coaches are probably going to have to talk over in the film room tomorrow about.
Net gain of 0 by Wilkes that time, and a 3rd and 5. So 5 minutes even remaining in this first half, in a first half that has flown by here at Festus Tiger Stadium. Jordan Wilkes, the quarterback, sends one man in motion. Then that's the 3rd time he's fumbled the snap. Farmington thinks that they have it down in that pile. No indication as of yet. For Festus, they're signaling that they have it. Oh, Farmington has it. So the 3rd missed exchange by Jordan Wilkes under center, and this time it results in a turnover and Farmington football at the Festus 13-yard line. One other thing to hash out, there's a flag on the play. The official picks the flag up. Perhaps it was just a field marker.
How huge can this be for Farmington right now?
Well, there's your asterisk, Luke. The huge play of the game right now has to be that turnover, particularly if Farmington can punch it in. So the flag goes against Festus on an illegal procedure. Farmington certainly declines that thing.
Jordan Wilkes, that's, like I said, first game jitters here. Just not concentration, sophomore quarterback. Big turnover.
Justin Boehm going back in the gun. Beside him, Anthony Greco. 1st and 10 for Farmington. They've got it at the 13-yard line. Boehm mishandles the snap, fires to the end zone, and a nice attempt there in the end zone by Dunlap to catch it, but can't quite haul it in. Boy, he was open. There was a little bubble for him right there.
Little window. Boehm just kind of short-hopped it to him there. Kind of lost his footing there. It looked like it was a bad snap anyways. The play was just kind of doomed from the get-go.
4:38 remaining in this first half. Farmington hoping for the 7-3 lead at the half. And if they could do it, it would match last year's halftime score. If they can't do it, well, Festus leads it right now, 3-0. Bang, flipping it over to the left side. Garrett has it. Garrett driving his way toward the end zone. He's down to the 1-yard line. And a gain there of 13 yards. And what has become very clear early on in this season, Luke Mel, if you can get the ball to Ryder Garrett in space, he's going to break a few tackles.
Absolutely. And, like go back to his older brother Roper. He used to carry the ball, and he was a horse to take down then too. So little bro showing he's just as much as a ruckus. Lost for words.
Time out on the field. If Festus defense wants to talk it over, we'll step aside for 30 seconds. When we come back, a 1st and goal at the 1 for Farmington. Tell you more in 30 seconds on KREI.
Hi, this is Ann Java at Long John Silver's in A&W, here to tell you about our sizzling summer special. Our new crispy panko shrimp combo for just $4.99. Paired with a sweet Thai chili sauce, after all that spice, cool down with a frosted mug of A&W root beer made from scratch daily. That's Long John Silver's and A&W, conveniently located in Farmington's Maple Valley Center.
Farmington trying to convert a turnover into a touchdown here. Got the ball at the Festus 13-yard line after a Tiger fumble. A completed pass to Ryder Garrett has given the Knights a 1st down and goal at the 1-yard line.
Bang comes out of that huddle, kind of taps Greco on the back. Wouldn't be surprised if he's getting the ball right here.
Let's see what it is. Bang back in that gun. He gets that direct snap. He's going to follow Greco, heads toward the end zone, and a touchdown Farmington. A 1-yard score for the Knights. First touchdown of the season for the Farmington Knights, and they go on top of Festus on the road, 7-3 at the 4:27 mark of the first quarter.
Yeah, he tapped him on the back and said, hey, bud, you make me a hole and I'll get in.
That's exactly what happened, too. So they scripted it out, and it went according to plan. 6-3 lead for Farmington, 4:27 on this first quarter clock. Austin Dussault on for the extra point attempt. Connor Forsyth, the holder. Snap is good. Hold is down. And Dussault's kick is off to the left. Couldn't capitalize. So we Probably, Luke. Well, no, we definitely will not have the game score at halftime as we had last year. 4:27 remaining in this first half of play. Farmington 6, Festus 3. Back with your kickoff in a minute on KREI.
Mineral Area College, your next step to success. The opportunity is right here. You can have it all for less. You can be what you want to be. So come on, take that first step. Mineral Area College, your next step.
Innovative Warehousing and Distribution in Farmington is a proud supporter of high school sports and would like to wish the Farmington Knights the best of luck this season. Innovative Warehousing and Distribution in Farmington encourages all athletes to work hard and keep your direction. The key word to a winning team is teamwork. Good luck to the Farmington Knights this season. This message brought to you by your friends at Innovative Warehousing and Distribution in Farmington.
Well, the Knights get on the scoreboard. 6-3. Farmington leads it. A turnover by Festus, giving Farmington a short field. I mean, really short, 13 yards. And just a few plays later, it was Justin Boehm going in with the quarterback keeper. Austin Dussel going to boot it away for the Knights. Sproul is the deep man. It'll go to the up man instead for Festus. And that's Jaden Reddick. Reddick returns it over the left side across the 30 to 35, and now finally at the 36-yard line. Luke, let's take a look at the ProCare Automotive touchdown drive by the Farmington Knights.
Well, I tell you what, they made quick work of the turnover there, recovering that ball on the 13-yard line. It only took them 4 plays and 16 seconds off the clock. Not very much time at all, and quarterback keeper by Justin Boehm followed his buddy Greco into the end zone.
ProCare Automotive in Bonne Terre. For Boehm, he had 3 touchdowns rushing last year in mop-up duty behind Busenbar. Twins to the right side for Festus in this offensive set. They've got 1 slot back and then 1 fullback. Fullback is met in the middle of the line and dropped that time. Perhaps the Farmington defense getting a little pep, getting fired up after seeing the offense score the touchdown. They take the 225-pound Corey Uding down at the line of scrimmage that time.
Well, I tell you what, the momentum of this game really shifted there. You know, Festus had it all, stopping Farmington on that huge 4th down, and then that fumble really just turned the tides.
All in all, though, obviously Farmington leading it, though. Festus defense, though, has played really well. If you've got to say you've given up only 6 points, and it came when the offense from the other team got the ball on the 13-yard line, pretty good defensive effort.
Absolutely.
Here's a run right through the middle by Festus. They pick up a little bit more this time, but the Farmington defense still stern. A gain of 3, and that was Uding once again trying to escape through the middle. And there was Ethan Hughes helping out at his linebacker position. Gain of 4 by Uding.
I don't know if it's just me, Chad, but maybe my off-season training wasn't as good because I'm having a lot harder trouble as it gets darker seeing those numbers out there on those gold and white uniforms.
Yeah, I think they're the same ones from last year.
Yeah. We thought we had
they are tough.
Yeah.
They are tough. 3 minutes to go in this first half. Tom Lively will have our halftime show with our scoring highlights from our games on the air and scores from all around the area. And dropping back to pass, this is the backup quarterback, Andrew Hayden. And Hayden completes it out there to Sproul. Boy, they snuck a new quarterback in there, and a gain of 17 yards to Sproul.
Well, we mentioned we might get to see a little switch of a quarterback, you know. Hayden there coming in and taking over for Wilkes and right out of the gate.
Coach, and what's interesting, Luke, is that earlier this week, Coach Schmidt actually told me Wilkes was the better passer of the 2. Well, they bring the backup quarterback in that time, Hayden, and he throws a great ball out to the right side.
And look at Sproul, already doubled up his receptions from last year.
There you go. He's got 2 catches for 33 yards. Twins to the left side, and the quarterback, Andrew Hayden, in there once again. Hayden gives it right up the middle. There's the big fullback, Cummings, the backup fullback, breaking tackles, slamming over men to the 30, down to the 25-yard line. And a gain of 18 yards for Cummings. I think the fact that they're keeping all their backs fresh is helping Festus too, Luke. And you got big dudes, but you have depth in the backfield.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, that depth can mean so much, especially in these early games when, you know, kids are still trying to get in good condition.
Here's Nathan Cummings as the fullback once again with Andrew Hayden coming under center, and they give it to the big man Cummings. He's met at the line, but he surges forward on a gain of 5. I mean, he was met there right in the hole by Grant Hopkins, but Hopkins at 185 not offering a whole lot of resistance, and a gain of another 5 for Cummings there. 5 carries for Cummings and 33 yards.
Another great first down play by the Festus offense breaking into that red zone there.
You can characterize this offense as a quick strike offense, but they got this thing with under 3 minutes to go, and here they go right down the field. Their best drive of the game so far, and now a timeout by the Farmington defense. Farmington wants to talk this thing over and figure out how to stop these guys. 1:38 remaining in the first half. 6-3 Farmington leads, but Festus driving. And we'll tell you more on the other side of this 1-minute pause on Super Talk 800 KREI.
I am Mower Man. I am Mower Man.
Jason, are you daydreaming again about being some superhero that saves the day?
I am Mower Man, here to save your lawn and your money, and maybe more. Right now at Fleags Equipment, purchase a Hustler Zero Turn, and you won't have a payment due until April 1st, 2013. My superhero powers don't end there. You'll also get 0% interest for 48 months on the remaining loan. Call me today or stop at Fleags Equipment, Highway 32, St. Genevieve. Mower Man is here to save the day.
Jason!
But hurry, before kryptonite-like fun-sucking powers of Clarissa weaken my deal powers.
Fleags Equipment. Our family proudly serving your family since 1963. Highway 32, St. Gen.
Andrew Hayden handing it off that time to Jaden Reddick. Reddick coming from that wing-back position, and he got stuffed right at the line that time.
That's still all right. Didn't get a lot on that play right there, but still they're in a 3rd and 5, still manageable for this offense, unlike before where it was 3rd and 12.
Well, the other thing we know, Luke, is that they're in field goal range. We know that for sure.
Sproul's definitely got the leg from here.
Sproul knocked through a 41-yarder for the only score for Festus so far. They've got a 3rd and 5 right here, and they hand it off to Uding, the fullback. Uding tucks in behind some of those linemen, spins off of them to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Festus! A 19-yard touchdown run by Corey Uding. He bowled his way to the middle of the field, then the spin, then the speed, and the Tigers break on top. 9-6 with 50 seconds left in the first half.
Boy, and what a run that was. Using that speed and that size, he bounced off a couple of Farmington defenders. It was just rumbling, tumbling all the way to the end zone. Great run by Corey Uding, big 4-2.
Oh, a terrific run by Uding, and he doubled up his rushing yardage with that carry as well nearly. He now has 41 yards on 7 carries. Sproul comes on for the extra point and sends this one sailing just to the left. So 9-6, Festus leading Farmington. 50 seconds remaining in the first half. We'll tell you more with a kickoff after this 1-minute pause on KREI.
Midwest Orthopedics Group with Dr. Scott Van Ness and Dr. Christopher Sloan are orthopedic surgeons and podiatrists who offer total joint replacements, arthroscopic surgery, carpal tunnel, fracture care, workman's compensation cases, foot care, and surgery. And new patients are welcome. All surgery and care done locally in Farmington. That's Midwest Orthopedics Group, just down from Buffalo Wild Wings in the Midwest Professional Building in Farmington. Midwest Orthopedics Group.
Walmart Supercenter in Farmington is the place to go for the best prices on all your seasonal items. You'll find a large selection of items for your vacation to that fabulous wedding, to decorating for special occasions. The friendly staff at Walmart Supercenter in Farmington, they're ready to help you find whatever you need, when you need them. Walmart Supercenter in Farmington, your all-occasion connection. That's Walmart Supercenter in Farmington. Save money, live better. Walmart.
Festus responds after Farmington goes in for a score. Festus takes the kickoff and returns it in good field position and then takes it down the field and scores it. We'll get the drive information from Luke coming up after the kickoff. Sproul to boot it away. And Farmington has 2 deep. That's their 2 running backs. This kickoff, though, well into the end zone. No chance for Greco to bring it out. That was a big drive of the game from Procare Automotive in Bonne Terre. Luke, tell us about Festus's go-ahead score.
By far the biggest offensive possession for Festus in this game, this first half. taking over on their own 36-yard line after the big Farmington score. We weren't quite sure how that momentum was going to go, but they drove it down the field in just 7 plays, 64 yards, took 3 minutes off the clock, and a big 19-yard run by Corey Uding, the big 4-2.
That was a great run by Uding, and a nice blocking downfield by those linemen who got to the second level and helped him out. They're going to run a diamond formation as Farmington over to the right side. 1st and 10 for Farmington at their own 20-yard line after the touchback. Justin Bain, the quarterback. He puts 4 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left side, and Dunlap is uncovered over here. A timeout by Farmington, though, interestingly enough. Huh. All right, well, we'll take a little pause ourselves. Festus 9, Farmington 6. 50 seconds remaining in the first half. Tell you more in 30 seconds right here on Super Talk 800 KREI.
When Dad falls off the ladder, your son scrapes his knee, or you break out with a bad fever, Midwest Convenient Care is there when you need them.
This is Christy Cunningham. As a mom, I am so thrilled Midwest Convenient Care has opened a facility in Bonne Terre. As accident-prone as my family can be, it's nice to know that they're close in Farmington and Bonne Terre.
Midwest Convenient Care, located next to Lowe's in Farmington and behind Dairy Queen in Bonne Terre. Learn more at MidwestConvenientCare.com. Midwest Convenient Care, there when you need them.
50 seconds remaining in this first half. 9-6. A fun football game for week 1, Luke. This is a great competitive contest.
It sure is. 9-6 here at halftime, and not typical what we would have thought to see out of Farmington's team, but tell you what, Festus is giving them all they want right now.
Yeah, and Festus, to me, just playing it just right. Tough defense, ball control offense, doing a great job. Justin Bain, the quarterback. And before the timeout, Farmington was running a diamond formation to the right side and 1 to the left. They've evened it up now with 2 wides to each side, and Anthony Greco, the single setback right beside Bain to his right. Bain back in the gun and hands it to Greco. Greco has a little bit of room to run, cuts back east to the 30, out of the 35 and the 37-yard line, and a gain of 17 yards, and 7 seconds elapsed on the play.
Nice run there by Greco, and as in high school football, clock stops while they move the chains on the first down.
Greco had 3 carries and only 1 yard rushing before that 17-yard burst. Bain gets it and then quickly puts it on the ground. He meant to do it. He spiked it to stop the clock. So Farmington says, we'll go with 2nd down here. So only 1 second goes off the clock when he does that. Let's thank Accent Marketing in Farmington, Crown Collision Center in Farmington, Donald Cycles in Park Hills, and Fleegs Equipment in St. Genevieve. Farmington with 2 wide receivers to each side. Line of scrimmage the 33-yard line, their own 33. Farmington trails Festus 9-6, 42 seconds remaining in this first half. 10 seconds remaining on the play clock, and Bain still looking over to the sideline to try to check down on the play. Bain calling for the snap. Festus defense showing blitz. They drop out 1 of them, and now Bain whistles the ball down the field, and it's in and out of the hands of the wide receiver. That was Cameron Corder, and he got tagged. I mean, he got lit right there, and that hit was timed perfectly by Corey Carr.
I'll tell you what, that's the kind of hit you kind of see on ESPN. Let's just hope Cameron, he's going to come off the field. He was a little shook up after that one, but boy, just in and out of his hands, and the safety there's saw the opportunity.
Corder gave it a little alligator arm, too. He knew he was coming. And then by the time the ball skidded away, boy, Carr brought the thunder. So Bain back in the gun. 3rd and 10 for Farmington from its own 33. Bain steps up in the pocket, glides to his right side, still looking down the field, tucks it, now crosses the line of scrimmage. He's to the 40-45 and glides out of bounds at the 47-yard line. And Luke hit late on the play. So you're going to tag on another 15 yards to this one. And Farmington is going to be in the Festus side of the field with 26 seconds left in the first half.
I'll tell you what, Justin just looking to get out of bounds and stop the clock there. And it does look like he got a little extra shove once he was out. He was over there on the Festus sideline, too, and he did bite the turf.
Boy, if you're that Festus player, too, you don't want to do that in front of Coach. He did it right in front of his own sideline, and they have no argument to be made right there. So tack on an extra 15. And Farmington now they've got a chance here. There wasn't much of a chance with the ball at their own 20 and 50 seconds left, you'd think, but that 15 yards certainly will help the Knights. Twins to the right side, twins to the left side. Bain back in the gun once again, and he's got Greco flanking him to his left. 16 seconds on the play clock as he looks back over to the sideline on his left. And now Bain looks back to the action and gets the snap. Looks to his left. Now going to pass it right down the middle, and the ball's complete to the 30, to the 20. Dunlap to the 10, to the 5. Dunlap giving Farmington a chance right here on a gain of 25 yards.
All right, and the clock's going to start back up again once they get the chains reset. 18 seconds. Great play by Bame there, running the seam route. Dunlap and wide open. Bame hit him perfect, too.
Boy, Bame hung in the pocket that time and just put it right on the numbers. As Bame gets the snap, indeed he clocks it as you suggested he would. And Farmington now will have a 2nd and goal from the 5-yard line with 15 seconds left.
Going back there, we were talking about. Bame sat in that pocket, just waited till the right minute. Dunlap got open on that little seam route there. I tell you what, he took a big hit, but what a play here. First game starting on varsity. Justin Bame, big-time player.
Luke, Farmington does not have any timeouts left, so do you dare run the ball here with only 15 seconds left? You almost have to throw it in the end zone, don't you?
Right now, I can't see him handing the ball off to anybody. Maybe Bame goes off on a run.
Run pass option, you bet. So Bame sliding to his left. He's hit. He goes down. He did release the ball, though, right before he got hit, and they'll call it an incomplete pass, which is a huge, huge play.
Well, it almost looks like the ball got deflected a little bit. Otherwise, Festus could make the argument for an intentional grounding because the ball didn't even get outside the pocket area. But they're looking like he was trying to get to his outside receiver. And it just got deflected down.
Well, Farmington could kick a field goal for the tie, but they missed the extra point earlier. The mentality of this team is always to go, though. Always to put your foot on the pedal. So 10 seconds remaining in the first half. Knights football, trying to complete an 80-yard drive to take the lead. Festus leads it 9-6. Bame's back in the gun. Rolls to the left side. Floods the left side. Throws to the end zone and in and out of the hands of the Farmington wide receiver. Oh, they had what they wanted. They had a little skinny route on the edge of the end zone, and Grant Hopkins just couldn't hold on.
Wow. But I tell you what, give that Farmington offense credit for moving the ball down the field. And, boy, they only had 50 seconds left, and there's 6 seconds left on this 4th down. Huge kick coming in here, coming into halftime.
Ethan Grimes, the second team kicker, going to get a chance to tie the game right here. So Grimes is on for the 22-yard attempt. And the kick is wide right, not even close. And with 2 seconds remaining in the first half, Farmington drives nearly the length of the field but is turned away with no points. Tigers 9, Knights 6, Festus ball with 2 seconds left.
You just got to imagine Festus probably just going to kneel the ball here, not take any chances this close to their own end zone or to Farmington. Gives them the opportunity to score. Just another miscue on special teams right here for Farmington. And you got to make those plays. That's something you got to do here. And looks like it's going to be 9-6 going into halftime.
Farmington was so good at special teams last year, and you mentioned it. Logan Bradley and even for Farmington, a guy like Connor DeVaults could kick the ball too, and a little bit of trouble here in their first game this year. So Festus still getting their offense ready on the far side of the field. Festus leading this game 9-6, a terrific ball game so far. Gone back and forth a few times. And Festus sure looks like they're going to lead it as we go to the locker room. You'd think that they'd be kneeling down right here. And you've got to give a little nod to Festus's backup quarterback, Andrew Hayden, who came out and led that touchdown drive on their last possession.
He did, and I tell you what, made a nice big throw there to Sproul to get the drive really kick-started. And after that, big boy Uden just finished it off.
Hayden, surrounded by his teammates, goes to the kneel down, and we have come to the half. So Festus 9 and Farmington 6 in a competitive first half of play. Applause by everyone as both teams head to the locker room, and we will head to our halftime show with Tom Lively. Let's take a pause right here. 9-6, our halftime score. Homestanding Festus Tigers leading the Road Warrior Farmington Knights. And we're back with more on regional radio after this timeout. We get set for the second half now, and it'll be Festus kicking it away to Farmington. Festus had the first possession of the first half. Farmington will take the first possession of the second half. Anthony Greco, Colton Coulter will be the deep men, and that great kicker for Festus, Travis Sproul, going to boot it away. And Sproul going to kick it left to right as Luke and I look at and describe the action to you here in the second half. And both Farmington return men are lined up in the end zone. Sproul swings that right leg, and this thing is high and deep once again. It's caught at the 2-yard line by Greco. Greco bringing it out along its near sideline, runs over a man, He's finally forced out of bounds at the 25-yard line. So Farmington football at their own 25. And, Luke, we have seen a couple of drives by Farmington that netted a good deal of yardage, but they were turned away for no points.
Yeah, it seems so for right now. They're moving the ball between the 20s pretty well, as you hear so often, but they just can't get that punched in yet. And I tell you what, they're going to need to, because this Festus team, this Festus Tigers, tell you what, these guys are bringing it to them.
Trips to the right side for Farmington. A 1st and 10 for the Knights at their own 25-yard line. Justin Boehm, the quarterback, and Anthony Greco, the running back, stands just to his left. So Boehm surveys the defense, calls for the snap, and hands it off to Greco. Greco skirting to the right side, looking for the corner. He is tracked down in the backfield, and he is tracked down by a defensive end, Ryan Burgess. That's a tremendous defensive play by Burgess, and he just threw Greco for a 5-yard loss.
Yeah, the big man Burgess, they're running the line of scrimmage. We were talking earlier in the game how well that those Farmington defensive ends were playing that line of scrimmage. Great play by the Festus Tiger right there.
Boy, I thought for sure seeing Greco against the defensive end Burgess there, Greco be able to get to the corner, and Burgess said, So 2nd and 15 for the Knights. Motion man here, and instead they'll run the counter to Greco. This thing is blocked superbly, and Greco, a bullet, out to the 36-yard line. And after losing 5 yards, well, he's got 15 here, and good enough for a 1st down, but that thing was impeccably blocked.
It was a great play by the Farmington offensive line. Big boys up front opening the hole. Greco, he gets a little bit momentum going. He's got a little bit of speed. I don't know if he's got the Connor Duvall speed, but we'll see.
Not quite, but he's close to 4.7 40, guys, what they have him clocked at. So Connor probably a little bit faster. A quick curl route, and this is a pass intended for Ryder Garrett, and it's thrown short of him. This Ryder tried to dive at the 40-yard line, but the pass was too shy. They're giving Ryder some cushion out there to come back and catch those balls. And you know what Ryder is doing? We saw one wide receiver not coming back for a ball. Ryder is doing that pretty well. 2nd and 10 for Boehm. Boehm's back in the gun, settles in, flips it over the middle, and completes it across midfield, and Dunlap has the football at the 42-yard line of Festus, a gain of 22 yards.
Dunlap running that same route he ran in that 2nd quarter there, and Boehm hitting him perfect just on time again. Those guys really got that route down.
89 yards passing for Justin Boehm, and Farmington moves into Festus territory, and Dunlap showing a good knack of knowing where he is on the football field. There's a missed exchange between Boehm and Greco, and now Greco is down and holding his arm. Seen a couple of missed exchanges tonight. Boehm will cover it up for a 3-yard loss. Greco came up really holding that arm, but he's going to stay in the game. Twins to each side. Boehm looks at a 2nd and 13. Throws a curl route over to the right side. And the pass is complete just past that 40-yard line. And Calvin Lynch hauled it in, his 2nd grab of the night.
I like that nice little silver route. You know, lost a few yards on that missed exchange a while ago. Get it back into a manageable 3rd down, exactly what they did.
There's a 3rd and 6. Greco checks out, so Coulter is in there. And now Boehm tucks it, looks to run it, and now fires it down the middle, and the pass is too short. Here, this is one of those tweener positions. Luke, you're on the 39-yard line of Festus. Definitely too long for a field goal. Do you go for it or do you punt? And it looks like they're going to bring the punt team in.
Yeah, right now, probably the smart decision. You don't want to give away any field position right now, and Coach Vaughn deciding to go ahead and punt it and maybe give their defense an opportunity to pin them back deep.
Dussault comes on to punt it away. And the man stepping back to return his car. And Dussault saying, we don't have enough guys on the line right here. They're going to snap it anyway, but the Farmington coaches get a timeout right before it's snapped. Dussault was counting his teammates out there and trying to make sure everybody was lined up right. Looks over to the coaches and says, we don't have enough guys out here, fellas. So the coaches whistle for the timeout, and Farmington gets it right before the snap of the ball. 9:35 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Festus leading Farmington 9-6. Tell you more after this 1-minute pause on KREI.
Gifford Lumber Company in Farmington.
Hi, this is Andy Eck with Gifford Lumber Company in Farmington. Did you know at Gifford Lumber we've got more than just wood? We've got tools, trash bags, cleaning supplies, and furnace filters. And did you know at Gifford Lumber we sell trash cans, wheelbarrows, plumbing supplies, and we even repair window and door screens? And did you know we sharpen mower blades, saw blades, and knives? We've got more than just wood at Gifford Lumber. Stop by and see us on Potosi Street in Farmington.
Hometown proud.
When it comes to collision repair on your vehicle, call Brad Wooten and the team at Crown Collision Center. For 9 straight years, Crown Collision Center has been ranked 3rd in the nation in customer satisfaction at 98%. Recognized by Motor Trend magazine, they perform all collision repairs on any make and model, foreign or domestic. All done by factory-trained certified technicians and they're 5-star rated. State-of-the-art facility, and all work carries a written lifetime warranty. Call Brad Wooten for your collision repair at Crown Collision Center, 800-996-2566.
DeSault punts it into the end zone, so Festus will have their first possession at their own 20-yard line. Festus moving it left to right as Luke and I look at and describe the action to you there. A couple big plays for Farmington on the offensive side. It was a nice burst by Greco for a 16-yard gain, and also a nice pass by Bame as he completed a 22-yarder to Dunlap, but Farmington couldn't keep the sticks moving and punted away to Festus. So Festus now has the ball with the lead. Tigers on top 9-6. 1st and 10 for Festus at their own 20-yard line. Yep. Going to bring back Jordan Wilkes or Andrew Hayden as the quarterback here.
Well, Hayden coming out off the sideline there. Stick with what works for now.
He did a good job. He led the biggest scoring drive for Festus in the first half. And so Hayden will come out to lead this team. Couple of slot backs here. And there's your fullback, Corey Uding. They stick with the bread and butter this time. Send Uding right through the middle. He powers through for 3. Ryder Garrett right there to wrap him up. And a little bit of help by Austin Herbst as well. Boy, Herbst has a battle in there. He goes 205, and he's battling beasts in there like Brandon Barton at 260, Zach Welsh at 250, Luke Hampton at 290. That's a tough chore.
It is. They got a lot of size on that Festus team, and I'll tell you what, they got a lot of size in that backfield too.
Uding the fullback, they'll fake it to him, and now here's the keeper by Hayden. Hayden trying to get to the corner. He nudges across the 25 to the 26, a gain of just a couple of yards. And there was DeSault there to help bring him down, along with Elijah McBride once again.
But then again, looking back at third and about 3 yards here, that's right about where Festus wants to be. Killing some of that clock. Got the lead right now, 9-6, and kind of got the Farmington team back on their heels.
So a 3rd, and as you said, a manageable 3, a long 3, a short 4. Take your pick. Mitch Neal, wide receiver, off to the left side. To the right, Travis Sproul. And that big fullback, Uding, right behind. And still to go with the counter play to Barlow. Barlow looking for that left corner. Oh, brought down just shy of the first down, it looks like. Tremendous open field tackle by the Farmington defense right there. And Garrett Duncan, you see 56 out there. You think Brian Capayas from last year, Luke, but Garrett Duncan wearing that number this year. And they will say that there is just enough for a first down for Tyler Barlow, so he gains 4.
I remember Garrett got in on a couple of them varsity games. Got some time as a sophomore. Sees it paid off.
Option play right side. Hayden's crushed. Ryder Garrett leading the charge. Austin DeSault right there as well. And those two men come through untouched. Just light Hayden up. Loss of a yard. Big hit. That's one of our Crown collisions, I think, Luke. Crown collision of the game right there. Whew.
Yeah, we gave so many away there to his brother. I mean, I'll tell you what, he's going to get a few this year, I imagine.
I'm going to crown somebody. Andrew Hayden gets up just a little bit slower than he did the last time. 2nd and 11. Back up fullback Nathan Cummings checks into the ball game now. Hard count, 3-man jump. Were they all in white shirts is the only question, and it appears that they were. Boy, the whole line caved in right there.
Sure did. Nice hard count there by Hayden, the quarterback from Festus. And tell you what, Farmington gives it right back to him after making a nice stop on first down. Here's really what you want to do. That plays into that Farmington defense. And, wow, you give that 5 yards back to him now.
Now Festus has that positive yardage, and instead of a 2nd and 11, you've got a 2nd and 6. Sproul wide to the right side. Off to the left is Neal. And Cummings, the fullback in the game, he gets the carry. As he goes down, he fumbles it, but he hit the ground first. That's a good call. A gain of 3 yards by Cummings. Cummings has 6 carries now and 36 yards. That's a pretty nifty average for him. 6 per. Uding's got a good hefty average as well. 8 carries and 45 yards. So a 5-yard pickup for over 5 yards per carry for him.
As well as a 19-yard touchdown run. That's really the difference in this game right now.
That's a signature play. 3rd and 4. This is what Festus likes. 3rd and 4, maybe less. 3rd and 3. That's where they're most comfortable. Twins to the left side, 1 man to the right side. Single setback here is Cummings. And Hayden, the quarterback, rolling to his left side, wants to pitch it down the field and has Sproul. Sproul grabs it and he's tackled at the 50. A gain of 13 yards. That goes Hayden to Sproul.
Travis Sproul, man, I'll tell you what, this kid is just, he's been a difference maker tonight, you know. Really making the most of his opportunity here on the varsity level. 3 big catches tonight and a big field goal in the first quarter.
He's caught all the completions, 3 completions to Festus players, and they've all gone to Travis Sproul. Full house backfield, they go with that flex bone set. Give it to the big fullback this time, Uding. He goes nowhere this time. He fumbles after completion of the play once again. And there's Austin Herbst right in the bottom of that pile. You got to admire the fight and the guy like Austin Herbst in there.
Yeah, sure thing. And stopping the big guy Uding there in his tracks and putting him in a 2nd and 11 here again. You know, Farmington was in this opportunity last time, jumped, gave him that free 5 yards.
You know what Festus is doing, though, once again, melting that clock. I mean, this game is just clicking along. Motion man, and they'll pitch it wide to the right side. Here's Carter Probst looking for the corner. Dives forward and gains 3. Not a big alley for Probst to go through, but just enough for a little more positive yardage. Probst picks him up and puts him down pretty good for a 225 guy.
Seeing a lot of speed there, and we got a penalty flag, too, it looks like.
And this will nullify the carry by Probst then. So you can take that one off the board.
Penalty or no, but you're right. There's a lot of speed in this backfield, you know, considering the size of some of these running backs.
Did you see what the call was, Luke? Was that a hold?
Must be a holding. Looks like they're going to take 10 yards.
Yep, spot foul.
Oh, actually 15 yards.
Huh. I didn't see it happen. They called the personal foul there, chop block. So there you go, 15-yarder against Festus. That's a big one. 5 minutes and 11 seconds remaining in the 3rd period. Festus leading Farmington 9-6, and a 2nd and 29 for Festus. They say, let's just take it up the middle and see if we can get anything back right here. But once again, they do continue to melt the clock. That was the big fullback Uding trying to go through the middle once again, gained a yard. And it's 3rd down and about a half a city block right here.
I tell you what, I'm going to say 3rd and we could say this doesn't really play into the game plan, but I don't think 3rd and 26 plays into anybody's game plan, really.
Not really.
Not too many plays that you go to. So, just one.
So Sproul wide to the right side, and Neal's the wide receiver off to the left side. Hayden, the quarterback, are right underneath center, and he's going to run the handoff to the right side. They go with a little counter. Some nifty playmaking that time, and nothing happened. Gain of just a yard for Carter Probst.
It looks like Festus is going to obviously have to punt it here, but I tell you what, well, they didn't put any points on the board. They milked way over 5 minutes off this clock, and that's got to count for something, especially against this Farmington team that I know down right now by 3 points.
They've shortened this game the entire night. So coming on to punt it away is Hayden. Hayden has been reasonably effective as the quarterback, but he puts this one on the ground, and Farmington, once again, Luke, is going to get the ball deep in Festus territory. Now, Farmington got the ball in Festus territory at the Festus 13-yard line, and that turned into the Knights' only score of the night so far. This time, the snap is mishandled in the backfield by the punter Hayden, and Hayden continues to stay down. But when we come back, Farmington will have the football inside of the Festus 30-yard line as Hayden is moving his arms, has not yet moved his legs, but he's getting some help on the field. 3:49 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Festus leading Farmington 9-6. It'll be Farmington football First and 10 at the Festus 28-yard line when we come back to this 1-minute pause on KREI.
Looking for a fun and affordable way to enjoy life on two wheels? Then look no further than the 2012 Honda CBR 250R. The fuel-injected bike is lightweight with a user-friendly power band and excellent fuel economy. Modern sport bike styling, unmatched reliability, and a fun factor that is off the charts. And it's available in two versions, the CBR 250R and the CABS, with their combined anti-lock brake system, an option that first-time buyers and experienced bike riders can appreciate. They're at Donaldson Cycles, 4 Municipal Drive in Park Hills.
C&M Technology Solutions in Farmington, offering computer laptop sales, repairs, and upgrades, along with website design, hosting, and networking. Whether it's computer needs for your home or business, C&M Technology Solutions will get you up and running in no time. Digital presentations, along with picture and video services, also available. So for all your computer needs and services, contact Chuck Merritt, owner of C&M Technology Solutions, at 315-0863, or stop by the store on Potosi Street across from Gifford Lumber Company in Farmington.
Farmington football, they've got it deep in Festus territory. They take it over at the 28-yard line of Festus after the punter mishandled the snap right there. And so Farmington looking for the lead right back here. Fake handoff as this one's a keeper by the quarterback, Bame. Bame with not very much room to run through, but he does manage to struggle forward for 3 yards before being brought down by defensive end Zach Welsh.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong here, was that the punter for Festus? Was he also the quarterback?
That was Hayden, Lou.
So that could be huge here. Festus coming back here in the late third quarter going into the fourth if he's going to be able to return to that game.
It was nice to see Hayden leave under his own power. It took him a while to get up.
Got a little bit of a stinger there. His head down when that ball snapped, and he just got popped.
So a gain of just under 3. Call it 2.5. Coulter, the running back in the ball game for Farmington now. Coulter does get it, zips through the guards, and squirts up the middle, crossing the 20 to the 15, down to the 11-yard line. Boy, this guy's got some quicks, doesn't he? From the 27-yard line down to the 11, it's a gain of 16.
I'd like to see the junior, number 28, getting in there and making the most of his opportunity right now.
And he got to the hole fast.
He sure does.
3 minutes and 5 seconds remaining in the third period. Festus leads Farmington 9-6. Farmington with a 1st and 10. And here's Coulter once again. Gets to the outside, turns his shoulders down to the 6-yard line. Brushed off a would-be tackler at the 11 before he turned the corner. And a gain for him of 5 yards right there.
Like the way Farmington's moving the ball right now, but they've been here before. And the big thing is right now they got to capitalize on that turnover and put it in the end zone.
2nd down and 6 for Farmington. They've got the ball on the Festus 7-yard line. And once again, they give to Coulter. Coulter trying to scoop between those guards, and a great line surge that time. Adam Maple, Austin Herb, Zach Grief, all doing their job right in the middle of that Farmington line, and a gain of 5 yards once again by Coulter.
Boy, and they're going to mark him just short, so it's going to be about 3rd and about a half a yard right here on what is it, 3-yard line.
And so Bame and Coulter, once again, the tandem in the backfield. The snap is on the ground, picked up by Bame, spinning forward, and he looks to be just outside of the 1-yard line. Could have been disastrous for Farmington right there. But the snap that was on the turf is scooped up by Bame, and he got back, it looks to right about the line of scrimmage.
Boy, and now here we go again, 4th down, 4th and super short, but man, and it all resulted of that bad snap. Farmington just some untimely miscues in this game so far.
Oh, you think this is a big play? The ball is on the 2. Farmington with a 4th and 1 here. Justin Bame, Colton Coulter in the backfield. And the play clock winds all the way down in Farmington as the clock shifted from 1 to 0, just got the timeout in time. 1:19 remaining in the third. Festus 9, Farmington 6. Farmington with a 4th and 1 at the Festus 2. Tell you more in 30 seconds. Right here in the voice of the Parklands, KREI.
When it's time to paint, it's time to visit County Do-It Center in Bloomsdale and St. Genevieve. Whatever your painting project requires, they have it all. Their friendly staff can mix custom colors to complement any decorating scheme and offer helpful, knowledgeable advice. The Do-It-Best quality paint line is one of the fastest-growing private brands in the industry. At County Do-It Center, they have more than paint, lumber, and hardware. They have solutions. That's County Do-It Centers. They have 2 locations to serve you better in Bloomsdale and St. Genevieve.
Boy, St. Genevieve, who lost to Dexter last year in the opening game, Luke. turning it on tonight, 40-0 in the third quarter. For St. Genevieve in our game on J98.
They just seem to turn out some quality teams down there in St. Genevieve every year.
Didn't miss a beat. All right, so here's the situation for Festus and Farmington. Festus leads 9-6, 1:19 remaining in the third quarter. Justin Boehm, the quarterback, back in the shotgun. Farmington with a 4th and 1 at the Festus 2-yard line. And Boehm rolling to his right side. He's got the end zone if he wants it, and he dashes in for the touchdown by the Knights. A 2-yard touchdown run by Justin Boehm. And Farmington back on top, 12-9 at the 1:13 mark of the third quarter.
Boy, great play there by, great call by the offensive coordinator, Farmington, Derek Eves. You know, they stacked him up on that left hash mark, gave Boehm that wide side of the field to roll out. And boy, he had all kinds of daylight, and he just took advantage of it. And way to capitalize on 4th down finally for Farmington Knights.
So Farmington brings the kicker on. Ethan Grimes going to get his chance at an extra point. Snap is good, hold is down, and Grimes' right leg finally tacks an extra one on for the Knights. Farmington by 4, 13-9, with 1:13 remaining in the third quarter. We've got a great ball game in Festus, and we'll tell you more about it after this 1-minute pause on KREI.
Need it, want it, rent it, own it. Come to Show Me Rent to Own.
Hi, I'm Gary Romine, owner of Show Me Rent to Own. If you can hear this ad, then there's a Show Me Rent to Own location near you. Want a new laptop or big screen TV? Shop Show Me Rent to Own. Need a new washer and dryer? Shop Show Me Rent to Own. We have what you want and need. Want it, need it, rent it, own it. Show Me Rent to Own.
Show You Rental Company of the Show Me State.
Hi, this is Ann Java at Long John Silver's in A&W, here to tell you about our sizzling summer special. Our new crispy panko shrimp combo for just $4.99. Paired with a sweet Thai chili sauce, after all that spice, cool down with a frosted mug of A&W root beer made from scratch daily. That's Long John Silver's and A&W, conveniently located in Farmington's Maple Valley Center.
Knights on top, 13-9 over Festus. And Luke, I like the fact that you mentioned Derek Eves in the play call right there. I like the fact that they're utilizing the fact that Justin Boehm is a multiple threat quarterback. That you could tell that was a run-pass option right there. And when Boehm finally figured out, I can take the corner here, he put it in high gear, and there was your touchdown.
It sure was. On a side note, though, Farmington did have to burn their second time out of the half, and it's still the third quarter right before that 4th down play. Let's hope that doesn't come back to haunt them, though, later in this game.
Dussault kicks it off, and it's a line drive kick that bounces at the 16-yard line and scooped up at the 14. Festus taking it back along that far sideline out to the 30-yard line. Luke, the difference in this game right now is 2 turnovers by Festus deep in their own territory. The last one was the snap that was mishandled by the punter. Gave Farmington very good field position in Festus territory. And tell us about the ProCare Automotive touchdown drive, ProCare Automotive in Bonne Terre.
Well, after the turnover on the punt, Farmington takes over on the Festus 28-yard line, and it only took 6 plays. You know, we saw a lot of good spurts, some runs from Coulter there. So he really made some nice plays, and then on 4th down, Boehm just takes the corner and runs it into the end zone.
It's nice to see Andrew Hayden back in the game. He was the punter that really got smashed after he couldn't handle that punt snap, and it's good to see him back in the game. So Hayden directing this offense. Quick pitch by Hayden, and he pitches it to his slot back right there, Corey Carr. Carr spins, but he's dumped right there at the line of scrimmage. There's old Austin Herbst once again. He's been, if there's a tackle to be made, he's been around a whole lot of them, hasn't he?
We'll be calling his name a lot probably this year.
Well, there's no Kyle Van Ness this year.
We were calling it so much that you actually wrote his name down twice on the depth chart.
I did. Well, I guess I was right to do that, wasn't I? We're seeing 73 2 times out there. It's a 2nd and 9. One wide to the left side, a skinny split by Mitch Neal. And this time, everybody scattered about. And Andrew Hayden pitches it down the field. Pass intended for Mitch Neal. Good coverage out there by the Knights that time, and Trey Amsden out there on the coverage. Folks probably remember Brennan Amsden from last year, the center and defensive end on this team. Trey at 5'9", 140. No, he's not his brother. He's a cousin.
Actually, Brennan was his uncle.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
He's his nephew, huh?
Yeah.
How about that? 16 16 seconds remaining in this third frame. 13-9. This is a great ball game. I mean, this is a fun week one. We've got 3 good ball games that we're at tonight. I'll tell you some of the scores coming up, and then we've got 1 blowout over on J98. And this pass is in and out of the hands of the would-be recipient that time, Brennan Schuler. Pretty good pass by Andrew Hayden. I think if they'd have completed it, probably wouldn't have been a first down anyway, but a big boost for the Farmington defense. You get the go-ahead score. Last time, Luke, Farmington had the go-ahead score. They yielded a touchdown drive by Festus. Now you credit Festus with that rather than condemning Farmington. It was a great drive, but you got to give credit now to Farmington on the defensive side for coming up with a stop here.
Sure, and it kind of forced Festus to do a couple things they don't normally like doing. That's pass the ball. It's not something they're real strong at right now, and it really worked out for Farmington.
Here's Chris Smith back to receive this punt. This one scattered through his legs and then went behind him. And the question is, did it touch him on the way by? And the officials say no. Whew, that got about as close to a guy as you can get without it touching you.
And I tell you what, Coach Hennis, he's the special teams coordinator for this Farmington team. He's got to be a little bit hot right now about that one. And
he gets out of bed hot.
Yeah, and I tell you what, yeah, that on top of the fact that they didn't have enough guys out for that punt team a while ago, I'm sure he's going to have a few things to say to his boys on Monday.
Yeah, special teams has been a bit of it. If special teams has gone in favor of Festus, except for the muffed punt, special teams has been kind of a game turner. Here's a diamond formation by Farmington, left side of the line. They like this formation. But here's a whistle, a quick whistle by the official, but I don't see any flags down. Bame, the quarterback. There are 2 seconds remaining in our third quarter, and Farmington's on top 13-9. So just as this game has been all night, we're 1 play away. And now I do see a flag near the Farmington sideline. It was thrown very close to the Farmington sideline, so you couldn't really tell that there was a flag on the field. But as the players kind of scattered, we do see now a flag very close to the Farmington sideline. The officials, though, haven't grabbed the ball or moved it or made any indication that there is a penalty, and now they do. It was a neutral zone violation by Festus. So scoot the ball 5 yards in favor of the Knights.
Well, we've learned one thing from the past, and if this Farmington team's anything like any other, you don't want to give them any extra yards that they haven't earned. That's what Festus did right there.
In fact, Festus has given them great field position on a couple of possessions as well. That's where the 2 scores came from the Knights. So 2 seconds remaining in the third frame. Farmington leading Festus 13-9. They run that diamond formation with 4 wide receivers wide to the left side for Bame. On the back side of the formation is Ryder Garrett. I'll tell you what, you complete the step back pass to Ryder Garrett and give him any blocking, he's going to truck somebody. I bet that's what's going to happen.
Well, if he gets a full head of steam, believe me, we'll be jumping out of his way up here.
Roper Garrett, big brother, taking his football to SEMO this year. Preferred walk-on. And Bame steps back in this shotgun formation, gets the snap, looks to his left and runs the keeper. He says, let's spread him out and run it. And then Bame just falls down. He gains 7 yards and then got tackled by the turf monster. So a 7-yard game for Justin Bame, moved the sticks for Farmington, and when we start the fourth quarter, it'll be Farmington football, 1st and 10 at their own 36-yard line. The Knights leading the Tigers 13-9, and we'll tell you about the fourth frame coming up after this 1-minute pause right here on KREI.
Are you one of these kinds of dads? When the kids came along, did you promise yourself, I never want to look back and wish I'd spent less time at the office? Then you should get to know Shelter Insurance. We help people who plan their lives around their families by offering life insurance that protects soccer daughters, shortstops, violinists, good students, wives, and so much more. To find out more, visit our website, shelterinsurance.com. Seek shelter today.
For all your insurance needs, see Jim Ropke, your Shelter Insurance agent in St. Genevieve.
By now you know that Cartridge World can fill your HP, Brother, Canon, Dell, Lexmark, and Epson laser and ink cartridges, and when they fill them, you'll always get Cartridge World's 100% satisfaction guarantee. And as they begin their 5th year in business, they say thank you to St. Francis and surrounding counties for your continued support and trust in their business. Now during this economy, doesn't it make sense to shop where you get great value and service on a product you use every day? Thanks for making Cartridge World your #1 choice in saving money. That's Cartridge World in the Maple Valley Shopping Center, Farmington.
Chat speaker here, Mike Side, along with Luke Mell, our man back at the studio, Scott Cavallo. We thank him for his great work tonight as well, and we remind you to stay tuned for the End Zone Show, hosted by Tom Lively tonight. We'll talk to all the coaches, get your full scoreboard as well. You can go online anytime you'd like at mymoinfo.com and check out that scoreboard. And Jefferson, in its first full varsity season, leads in the fourth quarter over John F. Kennedy on KJF 20-15. Justin Boehm gets the snap from his shotgun position and goes absolutely nowhere. Brandon Barton at 5'11", 260. If this whole place was made out of real grass, he'd have been planted for the fall season right there. Loss of 6. Yikes. Brandon Barton, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so second play of the fourth quarter, and Farmington looking at a 2nd and 15. They still run that diamond formation off to the left side, and once again, Boehm runs the keeper. He breaks a tackle this time and manages to nudge forward to gain those 6 yards back, bringing up a 3rd and 10.
Boehm, nice move just to slip out of Brian Burgess, the big tackle there for Festus. Right out of his reach and pick up a few of them yards he lost.
We haven't yet seen the Knights actually throw out of that diamond formation with their wide receivers over there. All we've seen are quarterback draws, and in the first half we saw them line up in at one time, but then they took a timeout. So a 3rd and 10. And Boehm has Coulter beside him. And once again, Festus does Farmington a favor by jumping early. So a 3rd and 5. Well, you can open your playbook a lot more now on a 3rd and 5 rather than a 3rd and 10.
That's Corey Uding. He's been making some great plays on the offensive side of the ball. Also plays middle linebacker for this Festus team, and he just jumped the gun there, and he dang near ended it up on the Farmington side of the ball, and that one.
He's a thumper, too. Uding will hit people. But checks out a blitz coming from the right side. Now he's going to check over to a play. And let's see if Festus will toy with him and call it off. 10-15 counting down to the fourth quarter. Farmington leading at 13-9. Boehm grabs the snap, fires out on the curl route, looking for Calvin Lynch, and threw behind him. So 4th and 5 for Farmington from their own 40. It looks like the Knights will give it back to Festus. And the Tigers with an opportunity to take the lead. Austin Dussel to punt it away. 2 return men for Festus. Sproul and also Corey Carr. Dussel standing 17 yards deep. He picks up the snap that was bounced to him, and Sproul now grabs it at his own 31, and he's drilled by Ryder Garrett. Perfect timing by Ryder, and just pounced on him. We'd like to thank a few sponsors: Walmart Supercenter in Farmington, Emo's Pizza in Farmington, and Country Financial Agent Mark Cook, also of Farmington.
Well, that's a guy you want leading down on that punt team. Specialist Ryder Garrett, man, doing a lot tonight, catching the ball, making those great tackles at the line of scrimmage, and then a huge special team play there.
I'd like to see him throw it to him on the back end of that diamond formation and see what happens. Andrew Hayden, he came in late in the first half for Jordan Wilkes at that quarterback spot and led a touchdown drive, but not a whole lot after that. He's going to run that QB keeper this time, and he is plowed down by Zach Grief. Zach Grief is a guy that kind of played sparingly last year, Luke, but it seem like every time he came in, somebody was getting hit hard.
No, he did, and he was a guy we were excited about this year. You know, we've seen him coming in. We knew what kind of a player he was, and, you know, I'll tell you what, you know, he can do some special things this year.
Got some good size, 6'3", 245. A guy that is a tweener. He can play some linebacker. He can play some defensive line. He plays on the offensive line as well for this Farmington team. And a handoff to the backup fullback, Cummings, this time. Cummings gets a pair. Let's see who comes off the bottom of the pile. How about Grief and Garrett? The G-men out there.
There we are, the G-men.
2-yard gain for Cummings. You like that? Well, maybe we'll stick with that.
Well, I was wondering how we were going to do with coming up with some nicknames. We lost Seabass, you know.
Seabass. So. We'll go with the G-men if those two guys keep hitting like that.
Sure.
Grief and Garrett. 3rd and 3 for Festus. They've got it at their own 37-yard line. Give it to their fullback. Hey, there's a good carry. Hit once, twice, 3 and 4 times, and then just spinning, turning, and churning. That's a first down carry for the backup fullback, Cummings. That's a great run.
Great run, good enough for the first down. He's moving the chains. Tell you what, Festus on the move right now. This Farmington defense has kept them in check the last couple series.
I think Festus is going to win a lot of games this year, Luke. I like this team.
I like what I'm seeing, too. I'll tell you what.
1st and 10 for Festus. They've moved the sticks, and they're out to their own 41-yard line. Motion man this time, but instead the ball's loose. It's in the backfield, and Farmington pounces on it. A missed exchange once again, and there is Austin Dussel coming up with a fumble recovery. The third time that Farmington has recovered the ball inside of Festus territory. The previous 2 times, Luke, resulting in touchdowns for the Knights.
Yeah, and you're just not going to win. Four turnovers already for this Festus team, and you're not going to win a lot of ball games whenever you playing that sloppy.
So the 4th turnover of the game, the 4th fumble, the 3rd time in their own territory. So Farmington has the football at the Festus 38-yard line. Justin Bain bringing a motion man Dunlap. Gives it off now to his running back. And there's that quick guy, Colton Coulter, skirting around the left side. Boy, he can bounce to the outside quick. And he's got a gain of 13 yards. Greco's got some nice speed, but I think Coulter is quicker. He can get to top speed faster.
Sure can, yeah. It seems like as soon as he's through that hole, he's just at top speed, and he's got a little bit of a lane. He might be off to the races.
47 yards rushing for Coulter, and he's got it on only 5 carries. So Coulter standing right beside Bain. Bain going to check down from him and fake the handoff this time, pull it out of the belly, and then as Bain dives forward, he gains just a yard. Coming off the bottom of the pile that time. They've gone a little bit deeper into their depth chart as Festus, Jesus, Garduno. Gain of just a yard for Bain there. Bain's going to do the same thing, though, and he's going to run the keeper to the left side. Bain with 4th down yardage and more across the 15 to the 14-yard line, and a gain of 12 for Bain.
Man, what a dual threat he really is turning out to be. Tell you what, he's so quick, and then that really can effectively run that quarterback keeper.
So Bain directing this offense. Some nice running by Coulter, and the common denominator in the whole thing is the play from the offensive line that looks stronger in this second half than they did in the first half. Coulter goes to the left, quickly changes directions. He's back to the right side. Uding sends him down, but down to the 10-yard line and a gain of 3. Coulter just kind of pinballing his way around down there. 6 carries and 50 yards for Coulter. Coulter, 5'8", 155-pounder, a junior. Trips to the left side, one guy off to the right side, and they'll bluff the jet sweep. Instead, go to Coulter, and Coulter this time gets a little bit of power yardage, and he dives down to the 5-yard line. Tackle made by Tyler Barrow, but he got to the hole quick that time, Luke, and then I thought made a nice power move, and the football people like to say that you put your foot in the ground and make a cut. That's what he did, but there was an illegal shift by Farmington, so it won't matter.
It did. The slot receiver came in motion, and I think what they're going to do is they got Justin Bain for almost moving too fast there, and that's 2 guys moving at the same time.
So instead of a 3rd and 2 from the 5, this will force Farmington into a 2nd and about 12 from the 15. 7:23 remaining in this 4th quarter. And this could really be the key possession of the game. If Farmington can get up by 2 scores, it'll be tough on Festus. 13-9, Farmington leads. 7:23 remaining in our 4th quarter. So Farmington looking at a 2nd and 12 from the Festus 15-yard line. Bain barks it out, fakes the handoff, and slips through 1 tackle and dives across the 15 to the 14-yard line. Brennan Schuler wrapped him up right there. Pretty good one-on-one tackle.
Got to set up a 3rd and long situation. And notice the big wide receiver, 88, Devin Nagels. He's checked back in. Boy, he'd be a great target, just like Doug Warren in the back of that end zone. But then doesn't look like Ryder Garrett's in there, though.
Jump ball, and he's over to the right side. Bain rolling it, though, to the left side. Looks to the left side of the end zone, and now it tosses it back to the middle of the end zone, and there's your guy, Luke. You called it. It was Nagel who lined up on the right side and then kind of snuck to the middle of the end zone, and that's exactly who Bain was looking for. They were trying to roll the whole thing away from him and then bring him in late in the play. Pretty nice play design.
It was a nice play, and I'll tell you what, Bain maybe just a little bit rushed on his throw there and just right out of the outstretched hands, and Nagels, he's pointing to him. He's saying, hey, that one's on me. I should have had that one.
Now Farmington's got a 4th down and 11, and they're going to go for it here. 4th and 11 for the 14-yard line of Festus. Colton Coulter, the running back. Bain has 2 wide receivers to the left and 2 to the right. And Farmington takes its final time out of the game. So we'll step aside with them. And Farmington leads at 13-9 over Festus on the road to open the season. 6:46 remaining in the fourth quarter. The Knights looking at a 4th down and 10 for the 14-yard line of Festus. Tell you more in 30 seconds on KREI Farmington.
Midwest Orthopedics Group with Dr. Scott Van Ness and Dr. Christopher Sloan are orthopedic surgeons and podiatrists who offer total joint replacements, arthroscopic surgery, carpal tunnel, fracture care, workman's compensation cases, foot care, and surgery. And new patients are welcome. All surgery and care done locally in Farmington. That's Midwest Orthopedics Group, just down from Buffalo Wild Wings in the Midwest Professional Building in Farmington. Midwest Orthopedics Group.
Chat Speaker Luke Bell with you from Festus tonight, right here on Super Talk 800 KREI. Luke, do you entertain the notion at all of trying a 30-yard field goal, or do you say, now we got to just run a play here because our special teams in that department have not really been that impressive tonight?
Yeah, I just don't think there's a lot of confidence right now maybe in the kicking game. Farmington gives himself a better chance to at least give them opportunity to score, I think, with Justin Bame throwing a pass, maybe even with his legs. I'll tell you what, like he did on this last 4th down play, but a little bit more manageable then, I guess.
Yep. Run pass option's been a nice situation for the Knights. So Farmington will bring that offensive unit back out. And there's the tall wide receiver, the Devin Nagel that you referenced earlier, and the slot will be Dunlap to the right side. And off to the left side, Cameron Corder and Grant Hopkins. Running back is Colton Coulter. And there's Justin Bame back in the gun. Farmington up by 4 points, 13-9. So a field goal, you'd still have a 1-score game. Farmington looking to go up by 2 scores. Festus shows blitz from the right side of the offensive line. Bame looks over to the sideline. Let's see if they want to change the play. 12 seconds on the play clock. Bame back in it now. Looks forward. Stomps the foot, and here we go. Bame back, and he's going to throw the screen pass over the middle. This thing was sniffed out, and Coulter had a slip between his right and left hands as well, but Festus played that exactly right. And Luke, for a play that Farmington had not shown all night long, that's pretty heady defense by Festus.
Yeah, it sure is, and Farmington's made the most of the turnovers before. Kind of got the 2 plays by Bame and 2 touchdown runs. But I tell you what, you just got to think not having Evan Dunham, kind of this offense is lacking a little bit of something right now. Maybe, I don't know.
Little zip, yeah.
Little zip. When they get down that red zone, it seems like they got something to capitalize on. The big guy Coulter, man, he was doing a heck of a job running the ball. Just wasn't going to happen in that 3rd and long situation.
Something that you mentioned right there, though, Festus defense comes up big after the offense turned it over in its own territory. The defense gives nothing. And now Ryder Garrett with a nice hit there as man came through the middle, but a pretty good carry by Jared Reddick as he spun off of him and gained 5 yards. Good work by Reddick. 2nd and 4. And we take an eye on the clock as well. 6 minutes and 15 seconds and counting down in this ball game. 13-9, Farmington on top. Sprawl, the wide receiver to the right side. Everybody else tight to the line. Swap back, Barlow. And fullback out there is Jared Reddick. And Reddick with the power run on the last carry. He comes with the speed right here and rips it right up the middle for 12 yards.
Nice play by Reddick there. Just mixing it up again in that backfield of that Festus Tigers. I tell you what, they got some guys back there that can play this game.
Russ Schmidt and company just keep rotating those running backs in there. And they always have a fresh guy out there. And here's Reddick once again as the fullback. Reddick gets it and stumbles forward for another 4-yard gain.
Win or lose, I think Festus, the coaching staff, Russ Schmidt and his team are going to have to look back and say, man, we turned it over 4 times and gave Farmington just way too many opportunities. They still got a chance to make it right here with 5:39 left in the 4th quarter, but, man, they're definitely going to look back at those turnovers.
If they score here, they won't be quite as sorrowful. One split to the right, one split to the left side. Barlow the motion man, and instead they'll go on the counter play as Corey Carr comes around from the left to the right side, and he's off to the races, to midfield, to the 40, to the 30, to the 20. They won't catch him. To the 10-5. Touchdown! Corey Carr goes 63 yards, and Festus now is back on top. 5:13 remaining in the fourth quarter. Festus 15, Farmington 13. And Corey Carr just lit one up down the right side. Well, they pounded it up the middle, Luke. Uding, Cummings, and then Jared Reddick on that possession. And then once they faked it, you had to respect it. And Corey Carr came around on the counter, and he was gone.
Oh, I tell you what, we were talking about the clock, 6 minutes left in the game. Wow. Festus just sprints down the field, and boy, what a burst of speed there.
Sproul to make it a 3-point game. The snap is good. The hold is down. And Sproul's kick is up and through. 16-13. Festus back in charge. 5:13 remaining in the fourth quarter. Farmington will get the ball on the kickoff coming up after this 1-minute pause on KREI.
Innovative Warehousing and Distribution in Farmington is a proud supporter of high school sports and would like to wish the Farmington Knights the best of luck this season. Innovative Warehousing and Distribution in Farmington encourages all athletes to work hard and keep your direction. The key word to a winning team is teamwork. Good luck to the Farmington Knights this season. This message brought to you by your friends at Innovative Warehousing and Distribution in Farmington.
When dad falls off the ladder, your son scrapes his knee, or you break out with a bad fever, Midwest Convenient Care is there when you need them.
This is Christy Cunningham. As a mom, I am so thrilled Midwest Convenient Care has opened a facility in Bonne Terre. As accident-prone as my family can be, it's nice to know that they're close in Farmington and Bonne Terre.
Midwest Convenient Care, located next to Lowe's in Farmington and behind Dairy Queen in Bonne Terre. Learn more at MidwestConvenientCare.com. Midwest Convenient Care, there when you need them.
Festus High School is our location, and the Festus Tigers have just taken the lead on the Farmington Knights with a tremendous touchdown run by Corey Carr. Goes 63 yards and puts the Tigers on top 16-13. 5:13 remaining in our fourth quarter. Travis Sproul booting it away for Festus. He drives the Farmington return team way back in the end zone. Coulter has it off of his hands and back out the end of the end zone. Another big drive to take the lead for Festus, our ProCare Automotive in Bonne Terre. One of our drives of the game, and Luke, that was an impressive one for Festus.
Yeah, I'm looking down the chart here, and we've got 10-play, 9-play drives for Festus. And that one was only 4 plays there, and it went 86 yards, almost the length of the field, and big run by Carr there to put his team ahead here late in the fourth quarter.
And the defense for Festus stopping Farmington on 4 downs to get that ball back deep in its own territory, and the offense comes through with a big drive to take the lead. 4 wide receivers to the left for Farmington, 1 back to the right side. Bame flipped it out over to the left side, and this thing is caught by Ryder Garrett, and he is quickly driven down to the ground. Nice play by Keanu Keaton Boyce, and a loss of 3 yards on the completion.
And that's a guy we were talking about. We want to see him get the ball in his hands and see what he can do out in the open space. But great job there by the Festus defense just to shut him down as soon as he got the ball.
And not enough open space right there. Bame back in the gun. He's got Coulter there beside him. Bame breaks the pocket. And he's got a man open for an instant, but tucks it, runs it, and falls across the 20-yard line. So he's got the lost yardage back on a gain of 4.
Under 4:30 left in this game, and remember, Farmington's already burned up all of their timeouts.
Yep.
Had to burn it on a special teams miscue, and then a little play clock.
With a 3rd and 10 for the Knights, too, they've got to at least consider the fact that this could be 4-down territory. Bame throws it over to the far sideline, and this is picked off by Travis Sproul. He grabs it at the 47-yard line, and Farmington turns it over in its own territory. And, you know, Festus, this is exactly what they wanted, a lead late in the fourth with a chance to melt this clock.
Boy, and then really Bame just wasn't on the mark on that one, and Sproul did the right thing. He played center field, and he just got underneath it. He was the closest person to the ball when it was thrown.
Bame had a man in a short route and another in a deep route, and he kind of threw it between the two, and Sproul read it, ducked inside, and grabbed it for the pick on the far sideline. An impressive outing by Festus tonight. Festus on top, 16-13, 4:07 remaining in the fourth quarter. And the Tigers have the football. Andrew Hayden comes under center. He's got his big fullback Uding behind him. Uding is wrapped up in the middle of the line. Ryder Garrett, the first one there. And also helping out Ethan Hughes, the two linebackers combined for the tackle.
Right now, timeouts are huge. Festus can just run down the clock as much as they want, and Farmington can't do anything to stop it.
Gain of the yard for Uding there. He's got 11 carries and 47 yards on the night. 2nd and 9. And that clock, tick, 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 tick. And Festus, going to use all of that play clock as well during this drive. Come up to the line, twins to the left side for Festus. Travis Sproul in the slot. The officials whistle the play dead before it got started.
Here Festus kind of shoots himself in the foot. They're stopping the clock for Farmington.
Illegal procedure.
Backing themselves up, too. And, looking back last year, Chad, we really wasn't worried about a long field, Farmington quick score. I mean, we thought, hey, but right now, the passing game just doesn't seem too in sync.
So the Festus Tigers looking at a 2nd and 14. Certainly will assist Farmington in trying to get the football back. 3:24 and counting down in that play clock. Still with 10 seconds remaining. Andrew Hayden under center. Brings a motion man. They'll go with the counter play. There's Carter Probst. Same play they scored on earlier. And Probst with a gain of 17 yards down the far sideline. You can move those sticks.
He stays in bounds, and that's going to keep that clock running for at least 4 more downs.
I think this is a game that Festus just came out and executed their game plan. I won't say flawlessly, but pretty nicely. It'll be interesting to see if they settle on Andrew Hayden for their quarterback or if it'll be Andrew Hayden and Jordan Wilkes kind of sharing the responsibility. Under 3 to play now. 1st and 10 for Festus at the Farmington 35-yard line. 2:50 on this 4th quarter clock, and Hayden eyeing that play clock, making sure it all drips down. They'll go straight up the middle once again. There's Jared Reddick. Reddick powers ahead for a 4-yard gain.
4-yard gain right now. This Farmington defense is going to have to suck it up. I mean, this is the ball game right here, fellas. You give these guys another first down, and it's over with.
Farmington Knights 12-2 last year. Most wins in program history as they advanced all the way to the state semifinals. Festus Tigers with a playoff berth as well. They went 7-4. 2 minutes and 12 seconds remaining in our 4th quarter. Andrew Hayden comes under center and hands it off to his big man Reddick once again. Reddick powering his way near first down yardage. He needed about the 25. It looks like he comes to a stop at about the 26. 2 minutes remaining in our ball game. Gain of 4 for Reddick. They have so many big horses that run the ball tough for this team.
Right now, best case scenario for Farmington, if they can even get the ball back from Festus right now, they'll have it with just over a minute left, and that's if they stop them right here on these next 2 downs.
Yeah, like you said, that's the best case scenario.
It all depends on this next play.
3rd and 3. They'll bring in Corey Uding, the starting fullback on this play. And Uding just going to try to pave the way for his quarterback, Hayden. Hayden needed the 25, and initially it looked like he got it. It's close. They might bring the chains out. We'll see. But a minute and 22 seconds.
You're going to hear
left to play in the 4th.
A roar from the crowd if it is. I'll tell you what.
If this is a first down, that could be your game, Luke. Well, they're not going to measure it. So 4th and less than a yard, but they won't measure it. So 1 minute and 5 seconds on the 4th quarter clock. Still 10 seconds on the play clock. And Corey Uding going to be the fullback. Andrew Hayden the quarterback. 55 seconds and counting down in our 4th quarter. And Festus on top, 16-13. Quarterback Hayden keeps it. He's got the first down and more. And we're going to see victory formation by the Festus Tigers on their next play. A 9-yard gain for Hayden, and there's that cheer you were talking about for the Festus Tiger football fans.
Boy, 4 turnovers for this Festus Tigers team, and 2 of them very crucial down there and allowing Farmington to score. Another time, they almost scored. The defense came up and bailed them out, but Festus can look back at this game and just breathe a big sigh of relief. And for Farmington, they got a few things to work on, and I think the coaches will tell you that. And just trying to get things together here, I think, at the beginning of the year.
Well, 10 starters, Luke, going on both sides of the ball. That's a whole lot to replace. Even if the talent is there, you'd think the sink wouldn't necessarily be there at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, and like I said, first game of the year, these kids just got to shake it off and get back at it next week.
Justin Boehm carried a heavy load tonight, 21 carries for the quarterback, and I would think that might be maybe a little too many as an average as the year goes along for this Farmington coaching staff. 46 seconds left, and Hayden and the Festus Tigers moving into victory formation now, as Hayden will come under center. Uding, the fullback, the safety man, and everybody else surrounding that quarterback.
I don't know if you recall, Chad, in that Hannibal game last year, we got our first look at Justin Boehm as a sophomore, coming in the mop-up time, as we call it, and threw that long touchdown pass to, Evan Donovan. So you got the feeling that those guys, they played probably together on the JV level before, and a little bit of the varsity time last year. He's a guy that they're going to need back, and he's going to have to be they need to get this team going. He's going to have to be there.
That was 83 yards, by the way. I remember that play. And really didn't really throw a couple balls downfield. We saw him throw a ball downfield on the seam to Jared Dunlap, and that was all right. And that was our final play of the game. So 16-13. Festus, a winner tonight. Congratulations to the Festus Tigers as they improved to 1-0 on this year. And Farmington falls 16-13 in a back-and-forth affair. We'll have your stats coming up, a chat with the coaches and more on our post-game show coming up next right here on KREI.
Are you a people person who loves phones and computers? Would you like the opportunity to make up to $15.50 per hour with flexible scheduling? Accent Marketing may be the place for you. If you have a high school diploma or equivalent and 6 months of customer service experience, submit your application at www.accentonline.com. Accent is an equal opportunity employer.
Sports trophies, awards, and uniforms.
Make it personal.
Corporate awards, name tags, desk plates, and signs.
Make it personal.
Preserve a favorite family photo.
Make it personal.
Every day, every event, and every memory is special at Make It Personal next to Yon Hearing on Potosi Street in Farmington.
Hi, I'm Wayne Sheets. I can help make your next event exciting and special. When you want to commemorate, celebrate, or congratulate, make it personal.
Make it personal on Potosi Street in Farmington.
Walmart Supercenter in Farmington is the place to go for the best prices on all your seasonal items. You'll find a large selection of items for your vacation to that fabulous wedding, to decorating for special occasions. The friendly staff at Walmart Supercenter in Farmington, they're ready to help you find whatever you need, when you need them. Walmart Supercenter in Farmington, your all-occasion connection. That's Walmart Supercenter in Farmington. Save money, live better. Walmart.